if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on Dollar on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nuggets! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. We're doing the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Hey! A sense of normalcy? A little bit? A little bit. Hey! I'm back! Me and Cam Newton, same guy. Same guy.
You and Aaron Rodgers, same guy.
No, he healed way better. He recovered way better than I did. Me and Ben Roethlisberger, same guy. Out of shape, recovering from COVID. Hey, it's good to be back. Steve Covino, Rich Davis,
What's up,
spot
guys?
producer, Sports Entertainment Life is the show. It's been a long 3 weeks just to get back into this studio. So
Hey.
thank you guys for hanging out
Cheers,
with us.
buddy.
Cheers. Now or never. I'm a loner, a rebel, no more. Hanging out with you is what I enjoy. And we be rocking out. Let's go. Ready for some male bonding?
Yeah, let's bang helmets.
Let's mash some helmets, man.
Let's do it.
Mashing helmets is what I do.
Oh, do you remember that old meme you loved? And you're like, yo, this is how Rich and I greet each other. And there's two guys and their penises were shaking hands.
Yeah, I got that. I love that one. It's one of my favorites.
That's
the bros.
That's a Covino classic.
I love that one.
Meme.
It's in my phone somewhere for sure. Thank you guys for being here again. I'm Steve Covino. Feeling a lot better. I'm still out of sorts, but I'm not here to complain. Just explain.
How's the fog?
It's real, man. It's for real. It is for real. I'm still living with a robot that pumps me oxygen. Hoping to get rid of it because it just dawned on me yesterday that I'm probably paying for this. So I'm like, get rid of this shit. I'm done with it. I don't want to look at it. My house still looks like a little bit of a hospital going on, but you know,
We
had
have
a
white tiles, so it doesn't help.
That
It
doesn't
seems your house is like beautifully sterile in that way.
There it is, bros. That's what we got to get back to, bros and male
Look at
bonding.
that. Now, you know what?
Mashing helmets.
You know what? Mashing helmets. Is that the elite division of the Jersey Hog Golf competition? That's a good question, Mike.
You know, that's it right there, man. That's the goal. Those are bro goals right there. And that's it. Power in numbers. We're talking about circles and finding friends and bonding
over the weekend.
over
SNL
the past weekend.
SNL must listen to us because they
Yeah.
had that whole, what is it? Dude park, guy park. What was it called?
Man Park.
Man park.
I don't think you take your crew and split up and find other circles, although that's fine. You know, that's great, and that's another alternative and great release. But you take your crew and you combine crews and have a good time. Power in numbers. Thank you guys for being part of ours, and thanks for being part of our crew. Let's do this, man. Sports, entertainment, and life, lots to get to. Hope you enjoyed your football this weekend. I hope you had a Cowboys sort of weekend, not a Tom Brady sort of weekend. Hope you enjoyed the fights. And since it's been a minute, let's do a little unboxing spot.
Oh.
Want to do this? We're live.
Oh, let's go. Who do we got?
412-267-7469 if you want to chime in. Check this out. Thanks for all the mail, guys.
Letters.
Get
We
well
get
soon,
letters.
fellas, because we were all sick. Although I'm the one that took the beating the most, and Spot was definitely not 100. He's still recovering, too. We all had COVID, but we're back. Get well soon, fellas. I'm a mailman. I've been listening since pretty much the beginning. You guys helped me get through today. By the way, I'm Jamie in San Angelo, Texas. What's up, Jamie? Jaime,
Jamie.
thank you.
Oh.
Or is it Jaime? Is it
I
Jaime
don't
or
know,
Jamie?
but check this out. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, jerky.
By the way, there's 2 bags in there because I already ate one of them.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Sklenerix.
Let's see here.
Sklenerix, mesquite. It's made of mosquitoes. Woo! Mesquite smoked beef
Very-
jerky.
Yummy.
Very
As-
kind gesture.
As Jerry Seinfeld would say. Mesquite? What is mesquite?
What is mesquite?
Made of mosquitoes.
To me, there's nothing more manly than one man giving another man jerky.
Bro it up.
That is bro.
And matching
That's
helmets.
That's,
Wow,
bro,
man.
that's bro bonding. That's bonding.
Yeah, bonding. Thank you, bro. I
That's-
appreciate that.
That's peak bro right there.
and
that's
I
peak
believe,
bro.
are these leftovers from Jeff Edstrom?
Not leftovers. The ones that
Never arrived last time?
Yeah, they never arrived. You got the bushwhacker one.
I love this. Thank you, man.
Whoa!
And
What if you meant to give? Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth. Well, you know, they're both dope, Spot.
I feel like
Miss
Rich would be
Elizabeth.
all about Miss Elizabeth, but you know what?
So did I.
I'll rock it.
We'll
can take
figure
it.
it out.
You know what, Spot? I'll give you the macho one. I wore it one time, and I already have another macho man.
Nah, you need
That's
as much
awesome.
macho as you can get, Rich.
So shout out Jeff Edstrom, former CNR.
They all
I
have
am-
sleeves. I thought you didn't want any.
It's
Intern
perfect. I
turned
am Macho
superstar.
Man, so I should wear Miss Elizabeth on my shirt.
There you go.
Our mail, all of our feedback, everything at covinoandrich.com. It does feel good to be back. Traffic sucked this morning, but hey, that's work, that's life. What are you gonna do, right?
Can I ask you a question
Yeah,
about the traffic this morning?
it was nightmare.
It was a nightmare, but there was a car stalled in the middle of the highway.
Yeah, I was so mad about that.
The 101,
Yeah.
the main freeway
Like he
here.
couldn't cruise over to the right. He was right there.
The main freeway that runs through the valley. Is it safe to pull over and like help that guy push his car out of the way? Because he stopped traffic for like
Fuck
miles.
that guy.
Well,
It
the
was
problem
nightmare.
is not fuck that guy. The problem is, yeah, it becomes a safety thing. God forbid the guy gets out of his car and he's like, let me try to do the right thing and push my car. And then all of a sudden he gets fucking swiped by some.
Because like traffic came to a halt
Dude.
around him.
It was
and like people were
long.
trying to get around him, so they were speeding around him. But he was just sitting there in his car. If he was pushed off to the side, traffic would just open up. So you're like helping other people, but you're putting yourself at risk and him at risk.
You know the deal. The deal is
I guess that's enough.
you leave early. No, safety. It is a safety issue. He couldn't get to the right clearly, and it held up traffic for so long this morning. But I wanted to get here early, catch up, get comfy, and just made it barely on time. But here, and I feel like we're on the right track again, which is great.
You know what? It brings up an interesting thought. And you might say, really? But Spot, as you set up your log cabin, I'm excited to see where Spot's going to be hanging today.
Dexter,
I didn't watch last night.
So
Fuck,
good.
I got to watch tonight.
so good. Talk about that later.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait. That makes me happy. You know what? Per the suggestion of one of the Carls, I started watching a new show. And by the way, someone questioned how I watch so much TV. And a lot of times,
I mean, hasn't that been a question for
yeah, but
the past 10 years?
my life's busier than ever. It just
listen to me and watch Yellowstone.
Spot. I'm saving that for a special time. I'm saving that for when I actually have time to myself, and that's probably Thanksgiving week. If I go to Texas, I might watch that with my father-in-law. I'm saving Yellowstone. I promise you, I'm watching it. That and Succession are on my list, but I'm talking about easy background stuff. Someone recommended Ghosts. It's sort of funny and cute. Like I'm not vouching for it, but like multiple people, especially women, were like, "It's really just likable."
I've heard decent.
The story is a family moves into a house and it's haunted. The woman bangs her head, so she's the only one that could see the ghosts. But it's actually pretty funny. If anyone's watched it, it's like dumb funny.
I got something to tell you about ghosts, maybe in moments, but let's get into it.
Oh, I had a thought about you saying the car breaking down, and then can I give you the questions I want to ask you today?
Sure.
These are very important. I actually made sure your debut back here was going to be action packed.
Don't expect any great answers.
No, these
but
are ready. Are we just all dumb? That's question one. But I got a story. Are we just all dumb? We're going to answer that today. Do you love penis? We're going to answer that question today.
I haven't felt mine in 3 weeks.
it.
What would you really do for your bro? That's a question that I want to ask today.
Jerk him off.
And would you be able to deliver really? So I have good questions today that go along with stories.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot to get to.
Oh.
That's why I'm saying let's dive into this. Traffic.
I'll dive in right away. But the traffic thing got me thinking. There's some asshole that's going to say this sounds pretentious, but it doesn't. I haven't had a car this long in a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Meaning you and I lived the same life. When you lived on the East Coast, you leased a car. So every 36 months, you would get a new car. Nothing fancy. It's just, I haven't had a car for
Sort of
more
liberating. You realize you don't
Yeah.
need it if you have
Yeah.
one.
We have one car. We're getting by. We're thinking about after the new year, maybe we need that second car once Emmy's in kindergarten for sure. But can we get by a little while longer with one car? Doesn't seem to be an issue. However, we've had this car for the whole time we've been out here in LA now, 6 years. I've never had to think about what could go wrong with a car. Does that make any sense?
I mean,
Like,
that's
when
why
you-
you
when
go
you-
out for a little maintenance.
I
every
know, but
once
when
in a
you
while.
lease a car,
yeah,
you don't
you're
give
on
a fuck.
schedule.
You don't give a fuck about it. You do
but
your
they remind you all the time when a service is needed.
Oh, service needed. Oh, and a lot of times the company provides the service for free. So you're
Right.
like, yeah, I'll bring it in for the service. Great. Grab a cup of coffee, some licorice like Larry David does, and call it a day. 3 years later, get a new car. Our car's 6 years old, has 80,000 miles on it.
You're gonna knock on some
I'm
wood.
sorry, 50 50,000. I think 50-something thousand miles.
I mean,
on
that's a
it.
big difference.
I
50
think
and 80.
50,000 miles on it, I think. Ooh, it might have 80. But I'm thinking to myself, are there things that I should be preemptively like looking
Yes.
out for? Because
now that you're consciously or subconsciously thinking about this, that's what usually leads to some sort of issue.
Like,
Not that you manifest it, but you're sort of sensing that there's some sort of clock ticking.
no, but like guys like
and
Bill
now you're
Jackson,
pressing your luck.
guys like Bill Jackson never lease because if you drive 20, 30,000 miles a year,
Right.
it doesn't make sense. But
No.
you know, when you drive a car and you're putting 5,000 miles a year on and you're living in a city, leasing makes sense. I get it. Whatever. My question is, things that you don't worry about in a 3-year period. I'm like, oh fuck, like what's the story with my brake pads? What's the story with this? What's the story with that? I'm starting to think
Story
like,
is you might have to go in for a little tune-up or checkup. Drive it into Honda. I mean, even though you don't lease it from Honda, it's a Honda.
yeah, but then
Have
I
them
feel like
take a look
you're
at it,
paying,
see
you're
if you're
paying
good.
premiums and they're ripping you off when you bring it to the dealership. But that's not my forte.
I mean, yeah, but that's why you work hard to pay other people to make sure you're good.
I know.
Especially as a family guy, right? You want them insured and your only car at the moment.
Yeah.
You want to ensure that's okay. And if you feel in the back of your mind that you're thinking about that shit, that's probably the sign to
Dude, now,
start looking
honestly,
into it.
changing the oil and rotating the tires is what we've done. We've done that
And that's
regularly
it, yeah.
on schedule. But I'm saying, have I hit the point now where
It's not like you have to worry about winterizing or anything like that. We're here
No,
in Los
exactly.
Angeles, so
I know Callahan brake pads are the best.
update your fluids,
I guess it's just,
change your blinker fluid.
you know, people love to bust our balls about the things we know and don't know. There's a lot I know. But the things I don't know, I come to you guys for help. And I feel like we do that vice versa.
Yeah, no, Mouse is right. Change your oil.
Change your oil, rotate the
man.
tires. We've been
Rotate your
doing that.
tires. That's it.
Yeah,
The
we brought
basics.
it. We brought it in for
Well, think about it.
a
Put it in
general
perspective.
service.
When you lease a car, right?
Yeah.
What are you really paying to get done? Change your air filters every once in a while.
Air filters,
rotate
oil,
tires.
oil.
That's what you're doing when you're leasing a car. The same sort of maintenance would be required if it's your own car, and probably you should be a little more diligent because it's your car.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Battery's
Traffic
good.
was ass. Some guy let his car
Brakes.
go to shit, and it ruined the morning commute here on the 101 in Los Angeles. But we made it, and again, hope you had a great weekend. We'll talk. I guess.
Oh, dude, I think I'm out of blinker fluid.
said that.
I know. That's a good one.
We'll talk football and all that nonsense later in the Rando News. There's still no rhyme or reason in the NFL. We talked a lot about it in depth on Fox Sports Radio last night. A really fun show. If you go to foxsportsradio.com, catch the podcast later, or the iHeartRadio app. Fox Sports Radio is fun. And so was the Chiefs game last night.
Yo.
Like Mahomes was back.
Ralph Porras says, I just did my wife's spark plugs and ignition coils on her Hyundai Sonata.
That's next level.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm wondering, Ralph. Fucking Ralph. I'm wondering.
See, that turns into, this is a perfect transition. This is why I love the show. Thank you, fucking Ralph.
But Covino, I had shitty used cars until I got a nice car. And since I had a nice car, all I've done is lease. So, yes, I'm naive to this, which is why I go to you geniuses out there, the Lanny Poffos of the car world. If I've done air filters, tires, rotate tires, oil changes, if I'm up to date on all that shit, am I thinking too old school? Like, hey, what if this breaks down? Is that like old cars? Like, is 50,000 miles nothing on a new car?
No, yeah, you're good on a Honda CRV, or what is it? A Honda Pilot CRV?
CRV.
Yeah, I mean, nice, relatively new car that they drive on the highway. So
All right, just
the
asking.
basic maintenance, but sometimes basic maintenance turns into major projects you never set out for.
Well,
and
they can
especially
sniff-
when
they
you
can
don't know what
sniff
you're
it.
doing. No, but I'm saying even with Ralph, like fucking Ralph is like, yeah, I'm changing my coils and fucking whatever he's doing, rewiring the spark plugs and I don't know, changing everything out. That usually turns into some sort of nightmare. And I don't want to talk about the same sort of thing that we discussed last week about getting what you pay for and pride in work. This has nothing to do with that, but along the same lines of maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So because I've been so down in the dumps for the past few weeks, I'm starting to try to push myself to feel a little productive, but I get real winded, like no joke, for real. Like I can't do much, and it's so fucking lame. And spots of green in the back, like I get winded if I'm just walking around or sweeping or doing something. I'm like, Jesus, this is crazy. I can't believe that this is happening to me, right? But it happened to millions. And I had some little mini maintenance projects I've been wanting to do around the house. And because I've been so lethargic and lazy, I'm like, well, this will make me feel better if I just start getting to these little things and addressing them, right?
You have a new bubble in your table? Something fun to discuss?
No. This really is just
a
how,
chip in your cabinet that you painted the wrong color? What have you done?
This is like a 3-part snoozy of a doozy of a story, okay?
Okay.
This is about how small projects or small little things that you just want to get done always turn into more than you had expected, right? And you're like, So it's just that, but it leads to something different. So bear with me. I'm just telling a story. So we've noticed some critters around the house. Yeah, and that's never a good thing. And when you live in a complex, especially in Los Angeles, La Cucarachas, and I don't know what they are, you see them, and it's not a good feeling when you're paying a lot of money to live a nice lifestyle, right? Like, it's the worst feeling.
When you say critters,
No, I'm talking bugs, like little bugs and spiders and lots of bugs. There's lots of bugs in Los Angeles.
bro,
I have an ant problem.
you live in the valley?
Yeah, with people.
I will tell you, compared to the East Coast, you got mosquitoes in the summer. That's fucking annoying. But besides that, West Coast is the bug leader, the league leader. I go outside at night. I want to show you guys a picture tomorrow before they rip out these bushes. They're ripping. I don't want to hijack your story, but I have bushes in the front of the house that my landscaper's slowly pulling out one at a time because we're gonna do new landscaping, curb appeal, and all that.
Well, it's gonna turn into
for
project.
For each.
Yep.
Small project turns into big project.
Nah, I think this is of all the headaches I've had. I mean, it's really just ripping out plants, planting new ones. The headache would be when they all die and have to get new ones.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing lives out here. It's so hot.
But what happens is
You're finally planting at the time of year where they're not just going to immediately die.
yeah, no, that and by the way, I remember I was the loser that brought back my dead plants to Home Depot. You could do that.
You could do that. Well, I mean, I don't think there's any shame in that if you didn't have them for a year.
Well, my landscaper told me Home Depot schemes you because they sell out of season plants, hoping people buy them, they die and don't return them. So they're like, fuck them, return them.
Then it goes both ways.
So, long story short,
Too late.
thank you, Spot.
Just got to read the instructions.
You not simple. It's not like read the instructions and the plant lives. Conditions out here just suck. So each bush in the morning has like 50 fucking spider webs on it. Like you could see them because of the sprinkler
glistening in the sun.
Because the sprinklers go off at like 5 or 6 in the morning. So every morning, you see when you walk up, every bush is 50 fucking spider webs. So when he pulls these out, I'm like, where are these spiders going to relocate?
Strategic.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, we're taking away their home. There's got to be 100 fucking spiders that live in each of these bushes. And I'm thinking, like,
anytime you're making a move, there's going to be any action equals an equal and opposite reaction.
Well, that happened in Arizona and
Vegas. They're
Vegas.
going to eliminate this, and they're going to find somewhere else to live.
Well, no, I'm saying in Vegas and
you're
Arizona.
You're going to pull out these bushes, and your water's going to irrigate into your fucking living room. Something's going to happen as a result of all the moves you make.
In Arizona and New Mexico and places like that, and Las Vegas, Nevada, weren't there places where people started building where they had never built before, and all these scorpions and all these like fucking snakes and things had to go somewhere?
I'm not surprised.
And I remember seeing a story where people were like, "Yo, my house has scorpions and snakes," and it's like, "Well, you built in the desert."
Happens.
So I'm just these, critters everywhere.
No, that's the point.
So I'm
Bugs
sorry. Back to your
everywhere.
story. But you're not the only one. The valley is critter central.
Critter Central, spiders, cockroaches.
Things with like 20 legs. You're like, what is
Things
that?
with 20 legs. You
What's
don't
that?
know
My
what they
sink.
are.
Why is there a bug with 20 legs in my sink?
And I've been in my house.
I have a cricket problem.
Cricket problems, right? It's just California. It's how it is. And when we say cockroaches, like sometimes, not in my house. I'm just saying when you see them running around the streets and shit, they're gigantic. They're like Florida gigantic, tropical, prehistoric looking cockroaches. Think about what survived through dinosaur times. Cockroaches,
Cucarachas.
turtles, and crocodiles.
You know what you need then.
I like turtles.
So the point is, they're hard to kill, like Steven Seagal.
If you have a cockroach problem, you know what you need. These pups.
Oh, the cockroach killers.
Cockroach killers. I thought you were
Cockroach killers.
going to say Uncle Jesse. Have mercy. He's an exterminator.
Listen, you really made me drag out the story way longer than I wanted to, because I really didn't. The point is, sometimes a small project, something on your mind, just always leads, sometimes, because I'm trying to be positive, it always leads to more than you expected or planned on delivering. So I've been in my house now for a year, right? Again, it's a townhouse condo. It's a condo complex. And when you live with other people, you can't control the the pests, but you do your best.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I'm embarrassed to admit that in a year, just over a year now, I never pulled out my fridge. I never pulled it out. So Jordan's like on a mission to end this issue and clean up. And, you know, since I'm feeling a little motivated or trying to get this shit off my plate and get back into the swing of things, she's like, let's pull it out. Let's clean back there. Let's make sure, let's unscrew the coils. If there's any critters back there, let's kill them all. Metallica style.
Unscrew the coils.
Yeah, let's unscrew the back. Let's vacuum everything. Bro, I pull out the fridge.
Now your freezer's broken. No.
This is
you snapped the
hose went.
you
like,
snapped the hose that goes to the ice maker, and all of a sudden there's a flood in your place.
like there's a lot of, you know, Bob Vilas out there, a lot of property brothers watching who, you know, live for this stuff. Just pulling out a fridge, the thought of it for me is like, oh, you know, it's a hassle. It's like, who wants to do that?
It's on those like fake wheels though that make it move. Like
Yeah.
it moves like in one
That's
direction.
fine. Who wants to do that, right? I mean, this is shit I should have did when I first moved in, but I didn't.
You grab the sides and you just go for it.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I did. Right? And
Which is a great first thing to do after COVID. When you know,
Yeah.
don't take it easy at the gym. Not light
dude,
reps.
it's been 3 weeks.
Not light reps. Put a fridge on your back.
It's been weeks now, you know. So I'm just starting to do things and feel productive. And this is something I've been wanting to get off my plate for a long time. These roaches, these bugs, or whatever the fuck they are. There's a mix of things. So pull it out, and there must be 20 years of dust and critters and dog food, like just grime and gross, right? Vacuum up all the back of the everything, mop, clean. I got to give Jordan the credit as far as like she opened up the back of the fridge, cleaned the inside of it. But I mean, there was bunnies back there, right? And again,
Full-size
that
dust
should have-
bunnies.
Yeah.
Full size. But what happens now is, since the fridge is out and we're trying to make a difference here, Jordan goes, well, since it's out, she's like, the wall behind the fridge was never painted. Oh, that whole section was never painted.
Like they just said, fuck it, the fridge is covering
She's like,
it.
If we ever gonna sell it, it looks like a smoker's wall. Why don't you paint it? I'm like, all we wanted to do was pull it out, clean it, you know, get to the bottom of this. Now we're gonna be painting, and it's not the biggest deal in the world, guys, at all. And I don't want to be
It's one wall. I get it, but still.
It's two walls.
Bunnies.
And she's absolutely right. Like, why wasn't this ever painted? But it's like, when you had no intention on doing something like that, here's what happens. Then it becomes a rest of the day of little touch-ups, because you got the paint. Once you got the paint out, you're like touching up shit that you didn't plan on touching up for the rest of the day.
All right, here's
that's
a better question for you, and that's, you've lived there for how long now?
Over a year.
When does the point come where the touch-ups no longer match because the wear of the
I
paint?
know.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like,
I'll
if
find out today
if
when the sun hits it.
Like, my guy's gonna still do touch-ups, and I'm like, well, we better fucking start moving on these touch-ups, because in my mind, we've lived here July, August, September, October. We've lived here. This is our 5th month in the house. So if he's like, oh, we'll do the paint touch-ups later, isn't this paint settling enough where the touch-ups will show?
It's not yet.
Not
No,
yet? I
No,
mean, okay.
but it's a great thought. Now, after like 4 hours of
You going around the house with a fucking paintbrush.
of this and Jordan cleaning it up, and it was great teamwork, and I'm not complaining, because we finally got this shit done after a year plus, and hopefully got to the bottom of the bug problem. We still don't even know if we made any impact or a difference whatsoever. But the point of the story is this. Sometimes these small little things, you thought you're going to pull it out, clean it, call it a day. It was going to take you a half hour. Turns you into a 4-hour project of like, did I even get anything done? I don't even know, but I did my best, and that was yesterday. But here's the where the story changes, okay? Throughout my journeys, Rich, of getting this done, there was other little things I was trying to do.
I always assumed, by the way, under the fridge was just a puddle of the ice cubes you kick under when the... I thought that was the only thing under the fridge. I was like, what's under the fridge? Oh, yeah, you're right. Random little piece of rice.
Broken glass.
The little things that people kick
Honestly,
under the fridge.
you should pull out your stove too.
I did that already. Yeah, I
The
did
stove
that. Yeah.
pull out is grosser, because you know what happens? In between the countertops, that
Crumbs.
little, like,
Yeah,
it's
the worst.
worse than the in between seats in the console in a car. Like those little sides, like
Drips.
drips of
Oily drips.
I know it's not the most riveting story, guys. Just trying to relate because it always seems to happen. You think you're going to do something small, turns into a all-day ordeal. But again, Jordan and I felt good about it. It was a positive thing.
Do what my brother
But
did
we
in,
were
in the 90s and 80s. If there was something wrong with the wall, just put a Mookie Wilson poster over it.
There you go.
Why don't you do
Hey,
that?
by the way, you want to know the solid move she pulled though? Because she knew like I'm feeling like 60%. I'm glad we got this little stupid thing done. I'm glad I painted. The wall looks great. You know, painted it. Looks good now. While this was going on, and I got paint in my hair, and you know I'm all frustrated and dusty, and I'm sweaty. She's got one of those one bite, you know the rules, Dave Portnoy pizzas going on.
I got one last week. They're pretty decent. They're pretty decent.
She didn't like it. Too doughy for her, but hit the spot and made it honestly worthwhile
Just
for
can't
me.
taste anything.
Yeah, you know what though? I enjoyed it thoroughly. So anyway, here's the rest of the story. So remember, it's a 2-3 part snoozy of a doozy of a tale.
Oh, you're going to make a parody, Under the Fridge by the Chili Peppers? That's from Alejandro.
Yo, bro, there was grime there was like 20 years of grime under there. It felt like dog food and shit. I don't have a dog, right? So
It's my dog.
I mean, Rich was my dog. We're my bros. So amongst my travels of like things I wanted to scratch off the list, because when you're dealing with what we dealt with, eventually you want to feel productive again, right? Just little things. I was making trips to the hardware store. I was buying some Flex Seal, like stupid shit for my shower. Because remember, it's stained. Long story. Who cares?
Aaron Lewis was there?
Yeah.
No, the
It's
caulking.
been a while.
No one cares about this, but the caulking on my shower discolored.
All right. You
And I didn't want to
to
recaulk it because it was new. So I just wanted a Flex Seal.
You got jaundiced cock.
Had to buy some Flex Seal. Had to buy some tape. Had to buy like little minor things just to get these other things off my plate.
Are you insecure about your discolored caulk?
My discolored caulk it throws me off a little bit.
You've always seemed confident, though.
Doesn't make me feel confident. No.
Okay.
Now here's where the story takes a fucking weird left turn. Throughout the weekend of small maintenance, catch up, touch up, small project that turned into more than I wanted to do, I went to Ace. Boom! Ace is the place. Boom! Tough acting to the acting.
What is Ace's jingle? Ace is the place in a hardware store.
Ace is the place for your hardware.
Helpful
folks.
hardware, folks.
Helpful hardware, folks.
Is it?
For the helpful hardware, folks. Yep.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks.
folks. Helpful hardware, folks.
So I had to buy a hose because my hose exploded this week.
There's
and
some
that's great.
hoes in your house.
And I know this is like, what is this? The HGTV show? No.
Yeah,
it's
let's hear
going
it.
somewhere. It's going somewhere. It's called a build-up.
You don't have to explain the buildup. Just do it.
Just relating.
Great service
debating.
is at the top.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
With
Ace
the
is the
helpful
place with
Jordan,
the,
I got to go to Ace. Boom!
They got helpful hardware, folks. They
Gotta go
should
to
come in
Ace.
handy.
For what? I got to buy the hose exploded. Our expandable penis hose. Had it for a year. It broke.
I've had 2 of those break on me.
Yeah.
They're not as reliable as you think.
They're great,
They,
though.
they seem convenient and they're great.
With penis technology.
If you're okay with returning them and getting a new one every year, my dad said the same thing. Greg said, same thing. Every year they
Every
break,
year.
but they're better than the old hose.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
just going through a tough breakup, and it
There's no
won't
hose in this house.
fill right now.
Yeah.
There's no hose in his house. And Jordan goes, you're going to Ace for that? She goes, you're going to double the purchase. I'm like, and she was absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's $40 at the X hose, $40 at Ace,
Like probably-
$20 on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, okay, so we got it, whatever. But I still had to go to Ace to buy the Flex Seal and the other stuff to fix my tub. For aesthetics, I'm no fucking handyman. Now, throughout my travels, I always see this fucking weird neighbor of mine. Weird guy. He's always walking his French bulldog, like too often, like every time I'm in the hallway, which is not that often. He's there. Every time. It's like, does this guy do anything but walk his dog all day? Every time. And you know what's weird about it? I know who he is. I see him all the time. Jordan has no idea who I'm talking about. I'm like, how do you not know who I'm talking about? I see this guy all the time.
Maybe like the TV show Ghost. Maybe Ghosts. Maybe he's not real.
This is good. Okay, so
Get off
feel
my
me.
train.
Every time I see this guy, he's nice enough to shoot the small talk with me. I referenced him maybe once spot in the past year where he was editing Dr. Pimple Popper. He's an editor, right? So he sits in his house all day and edits TV shows, as far as I know.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
And
Do you have a new bro friend?
no. He's a very quirky, weird guy, like long hair, glasses, like, hey, like Rick Moranis looking, like a tall Rick Moranis. Like
If Rick Moranis was
goofy-looking
a
guy.
wrestler in the 80s.
No, like the kind of guy that wears clogs and he's walking his French bulldogs. Like, you wearing clogs and sweatpants? Like, what's going? This guy's a weird guy. Just like a weird guy, but a nice guy. Very talkative, chatty, likes to say hello to me. But you know what's odd is, like I said, when you're me, you get a lot of people that talk to you like you're a boy. And I feel like this guy's not much older than me, which is a little annoying. And that's just my life. And that's how I present myself. That's on me, whatever. But the guy's like, he's always talking to me too like I'm the new guy. I'm like, it's been a year, dude.
But isn't that don't you rather that though? Because the other thing would be if people treated you older than you were, which would mean they think
don't
you're
know.
old. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
but
mean-
there's you feel a lack of respect. And it's not like I'm like, respect me. I'm just having a friendly
I know.
conversation. I'm just telling you, like, it's the vibe I get.
well, anyone older.
And plus, I'm with a
I
younger
get it.
woman,
Yeah,
so
it's
maybe,
true.
you know, I don't know. It's just the vibe I get. Not a big deal. But I also assume these motherfuckers are older than me, too. You know, so I don't know. This guy loves to shoot the shit. We'll get into the elevator together, and he's like, so how's the place coming along? Oh, yeah. He's like, the guy, you know, Boris, the previous owner.
Yeah.
Boris, he put a lot of work into it. And, yeah. So how's work? And, you know, it's always small talk. And then it's like, all right, man, later. Elevator closes. And then the conversation ceases. The conversation always picks up. Like he's like a weird mental case where he remembers exactly where we left off. Oh, yeah. So what I was saying about...
I'm
I'll
gonna
see
watch.
him-
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go watch that fight tonight. He
Yeah.
sees the next day. So the fight last night.
Exactly.
Holy shit! This
Yeah,
guy-
I'll see him 3 hours later walking his bulldog again, and he'll be like, so I was saying about Boris, when he was putting those windows into your place, he's always giving me the history of my place, because he's been there for a minute. Okay, cool. Elevator closes. Later. Continues the conversation next time I see him. It's always the same continued conversation about my place, what I'm doing to maintain it. And I'm like, it's so funny, man. I'm going to Ace right now. Going to Ace. Just
Boom.
trying to maintain all the hard work that Boris, the previous owner, did. This guy, I see him again. Hey, you want me to hold the elevator for you? Yeah. So what are you up to now? Flex seal. You know, still painting a little bit. Doing something with the fridge now. Oh, cool. Hey, man, Boris, he's still telling me about Boris,
Fucking
right?
Quit it with Boris. I'm annoyed.
Okay. I painted the wall. I'm painting a picture.
Okay.
This guy goes out of left field. You know, the people before Boris, really nice people. I'm like, wow, I think Boris lived here for like fucking over 10 years. Like, you've been here a long time. Yeah, long time. So now the conversation's like, oh, we're off Boris and all the work he did on my place. He's telling me about the previous owners now.
Weird, because they were so nice, and then they ended up being murderers.
He goes, from the Midwest. Really nice people. Really nice. I'm like, wow. So you've been here? He's like, yeah, I've been here a long time. I'm like, how old is this guy? He doesn't look that old. Disheveled fucking, he must look like he's 48, 50.
I'm sorry, Gabe just put a good comment. He goes, is Covino imagining this person? Is this going to turn into a large Marge story?
Yo, Jordan Jordan's never seen this guy, Corey.
Hey, you know the French Bulldog guy? He died in 1991.
Yeah,
Like Jordan,
He
clogs.
sees another tenant like, hey, do you know Phil?
There was an accident on the 405.
Spot, you know who he looks like? Spot. He looks like the brother from the Old Adventures of New Christine, the priest from Midnight Mass.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like that guy with glasses, disheveled, and clogs with a French bulldog.
I'm so curious where this goes.
Let me tell you, man, Boris did a lot of great work on his house, but the people that lived in your place before Boris man, what great people. They were from the Midwest. Real nice guy. Real nice woman. You know, guy was out there. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm just still perplexed that he's been there that long. Because who stays in places like that long?
So, the Midwest.
The ass with glasses spot looks just like this guy.
Maybe it's him.
Midwest. He goes to me, looks at me.
Does he pose like that?
Cross-eyed and like,
Probably
it
does.
looked like it came like, it looked like this thought was not thought out. And he just had diarrhea of the mouth, sharted right in my face, and said something that I did not ask to hear. He goes, yeah, I'll never forget this guy that lived there. Died right on your patio. I'm like, excuse me, what? Just died. Yeah, died. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why would you tell me that?
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is what I got out.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
like,
good. 'Cause
my patio?
dude.
He goes, and it was like a silly, like,
Yeah. Motherfucker died. You
Just
know the
died.
place, you know
Such
the
a
place,
nice guy.
You know the place you hang out all the time? Motherfucker. Guy just dropped dead there. Have a good day.
So now, like, I'm feeling like, well, I asked the realtor, like, it was a question that I did ask. Anyone ever die here? Because there's all these cameras and everything.
I don't think they have to tell you after
Yeah, I
a
think they
certain
have
amount
to
of time.
disclose that. I don't know.
After 5 years. 5 years? I
There's
think
like
it
a
is.
window
But
of
dude,
time.
when
yeah.
I tell you, this came out of left field, didn't ask about it. Like, why would you tell somebody that when they're just fucking going back and forth? I don't want to hear about the guy that died on I'm like, my patio just died.
3 years.
No, guy was on the balcony.
That's died.
Boom.
And it was so
Drop
matter
dead.
of fact and cavalier and weird about it. And I'm like, I looked at him like, why would you tell me that? Like, what good do I get out of
Oh.
that? And
In California,
yeah,
here's the rule. In California, any death on a property, peaceful or otherwise, needs to be disclosed if it occurred within the last 3 years. That being said,
years.
the seller must also disclose any known death in the home if the buyer asks.
well, that didn't happen.
Oh, wow. Well, the realtor, you remember your whole situation was the selling agent and the buying agent were the same person? So she was probably looking out for Boris.
But here's the thing. Jordan's like, I knew this place was haunted, right? And now every time I feel the fucking moonlight hitting my patio,
You see
I'm
the guy
feeling-
like, oh.
I'm feeling like
You are living in a ghost house.
Like I'm feeling like the spirit of this man. And I'm like, now I'm like, leave me alone. Honestly, it's been like 3 days now I've been dealing with this news. And I'm like, I feel like I feel weird about it a little bit. Look, people die. It happens all the time. But the way this guy said it was so off and so matter of fact. And so like he died just right on my patio. And then I think about all the things that are mine now. They were really that guy's. The sauna I have, all these things, they're not mine. They were that dude's. They were there before the previous owner. So it's like,
Yo.
man, like, why would you even tell somebody that? So
As Kyle
know-
said, a Latino person finding out someone died in their house? Bad news.
it's just, I just wrote stupid neighbor and the things that stupid people say without thinking. And it's like, that's not information I needed. It did nothing positive for me. Not anything I needed to know, especially now. And it's like, how does that make me feel comfortable at all? Like
Well-
I'm sitting there, you're sitting there you're looking out at the patio and this beautiful view. And now you're gonna be reminded of some nice guy from the Midwest
Just dropped dead.
Dropped dead there. And hey, maybe he was. I don't know how the fuck he
Maybe he
died.
was shot?
Maybe his wife killed him. I don't know. But
Man, you know what's always-
information that I did not need.
Hey, you know what's wild? Murder suicides. Have a good day. What?
So yeah, exactly. So this conversation, unfortunately, has to be continued next time I see this guy walk his bulldog. So
And by the way, Laura said she was approached by her neighbor right as they were buying their home saying, I was just reading the feedback. Oh man, the guy that lived here before you, crazy how he just drank himself to death in your bedroom. Like, who
exactly, nobody
Who
wants to
says
know
that?
that. Look, I've lived in a home where I know the builder, the owner, died in the house. Like, all right, fine, I get it. People die in houses, but like the way it was presented to me just left me feeling so weird about it, and it just reminds me to remind you, like, think before you talk. Like, how is that useful information for anybody? And then to present it in such a cryptic way, it's like, no thanks, buddy.
You know what, buddy?
This is why I don't chit chat.
I'm convinced that, and I don't want to know. I never asked. I'm convinced that the previous owner died here.
And it's not the biggest deal.
I'm
But
convinced
you
that,
also do kind of Like you wanted to know that when you were buying it,
Yeah,
not like,
Yeah, well, not because I don't want to know because I believe in ghosts or anything. It's just the story of my home was that the family lived here for 60 years. And no one had lived in this house for a decade because the parents died and their kids, who are in their 50s, close to 60, were just sort of using this house as like, hey, if I visit LA, I'll stay here. So no one lived in, there was not a permanent resident in this house for years because the people that owned it passed.
That
and I'm
happens.
Like probably passed in my bedroom.
it happens. But yeah, Kyle, ignorance is bliss. It's
Yeah,
almost
I
like
don't wanna know.
I wanted to say to the guy, like, I like our little chit chats. Why did you have to tell me that?
The siblings.
That's what bothered me the most about the whole story. Not that the guy died. That's sad. The way he presented it was like some really nice young guy from the Midwest died on my pet. Just died. That's sad. Why did he have to tell me that in the middle of my day when I'm just fucking?
I'm with Vic. I think you need to bury some weird religious statue or something now. That'll go.
Thank
That'll
you.
go along with
Thanks, Vic.
brand.
I appreciate it. There it is.
Hey, Spot. Let me ask you because much like this house, the parents died and the kids were left the property. They toyed with it for years. Where, like I said, the guy. One of the kids that was in their 50s and single would come to LA to golf and would just stay here maybe once every couple months in the back bedroom and use the pool and call it a day. No one was here for years. It was like a waste of a property. And then they finally sold it. I don't think when these siblings who are all grown up now, I don't think I would have been like, oh, your parents die here? I wasn't going to ask that, or I wasn't going to ask the seller. But Spot, your parents did not pass away in your house, but would you want to give that information? Did your grandmother pass away in her house when she was 90-something?
I'm pretty sure. No, my grandmother no, she was
In
in
a
a
home.
home.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my father's parents passed away in the room that I used to sleep in. Pretty sure.
Christian.
I mean, hey, that happens. That happens.
People die at home all the time.
Again, that wasn't my issue. My issue was why this guy felt the need to tell me this, as if it was going to change my day for the better at all, when I'm just trying to do the maintenance that Boris had started. So it's like, it was just a really weird feeling that I was left with. And it does make you, think about other things. Would that deter you from buying a place? Probably not.
No, but you know what? You should watch, based on the recommendation of listeners and
Yeah.
subscribers, just for the hell of it, based on what's going on in your life, just watch episode 1 because they're 20 minutes of ghosts. It's pretty funny. There's a Viking, an old soldier.
So it's
it's throughout time.
All
It's
right,
like anyone
right.
that lived in that area that died there is sort of stuck in a purgatory. So it's like a douchey 80s stock guy. Like it's like a mix of people that are the ghosts in the house. I think
And
you'd like it. Just based on the fact that you have a ghost in your
It's
house.
also a reminder of all the things that you don't
Do you know the
right? Like, you
name?
don't know how many people died in your house.
Do you
or
know
in
the
your
name of
building.
do you know the name of the guy? Did he give it to you?
No, I had no clue. I mean, I don't want people going on some weird Google search about
Oh,
me.
I think I found it.
But really,
I think I found who it was.
Oh, no.
that's odd. But I just wanted to share that story.
Text us. Don't put it on the
And
show.
Oh, I'm
do
not
you-
going to put it on
I
the
mean,
screen.
Text us. I
If
want to
you
look.
really want to, speaking of your show, like, do you believe in anything like that? Do you believe like because now I'm like I think it's in my head. I don't believe it. I think there's a heavier feeling on my patio now.
You could believe in the
And I'm
afterlife.
sure
You could
that'll
believe
pass,
You could
but-
believe in some type of afterlife or spirit or soul or something, but I don't believe in fucking ghosts. Like, ooh, like I don't believe that on your balcony there's a guy that's like, I'm here now. Like I don't believe
But then
that
I
shit.
do start thinking about, well, what if something weird
Because then wouldn't
happened?
hospitals and places like that just be like
Yeah, but
crazy
Rich,
ghost spots?
but what if something weird did happen, and that's why the owner I bought from was super cautious and had cameras and alarm systems and everything. I got cameras on my patio now. Like, I don't know the real story. I really don't. I don't know if there was controversy behind it, but either way,
Yo, does your ghost watch you and Jordan get it on?
yeah, right, exactly. It didn't bother Jordan as much as it bothered me, coincidentally. But again, this just happened. It was news I didn't want, and that's really my takeaway.
On the show Ghosts, they sage the house, and the ghosts are like, oh, that smells delightful. Like they were not affected.
Thanks for all the feedback, guys. I
Check the
appreciate
county tax assessor, and you could find the owner's name. Oh, wow. Spots, what did you find? Like, without being too...
I don't know if this is
it.
the.
Don't give real names. or
I
anything.
Yeah.
can't.
No, but what did you find? Like, person just passed in the home? Like,
I searched past residents of the property, and then I did a few, like, it's like a couple Googles, like 2 or 3 Google searches by name based on age, because you can see the age of the people that lived in the property, and I found someone that died.
How old were they?
They were, let's see, the one person, honestly, I don't know if it's the same person.
Oh, multiple people died there.
But why would, multiple people.
Well, I can't link the address and the exact name of the person.
Why would a guy?
But the area matches up, and the time, it was
What is
20, it was 2016. Does that line up?
I don't know.
2016, and what was the cause of death?
Let's see. He battled with, he was 80 years old, but he was battling with leukemia.
That's not what this guy said.
No, this one I think was they tried to
He
jump.
said
They
young
tried to
Midwest
jump.
guy.
Tried to jump from the spiral staircase to clean the.
You didn't say he was super young. So
Yeah, how many people died on my patio? Jesus.
So this might be someone else. This might just be a coincidence.
This guy, I just don't know what he thought my takeaway would be when he sees me, like, going to the hardware store. I'm trying to make my place feel like a home. I'm trying to be all smiles and chit chat with the dude. Like, yeah, man, it's been a year. I'm trying to keep my place, trying to keep it nice, man. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I hope you have a great day. And he's telling me this stuff. So that's the story.
All right.
Take of it what you will. Don't be a fucking downer like that guy. What was I supposed to take away from that?
All right. So, one last thought on home improvements.
I'm going to find this person.
One last thought on home improvements and how they just sort of compile based on the last year and a half with costs of everything. And as you said, shortage of workers, construction workers, things taking a long time in crates and ships in the middle of the ocean. I feel like I got pretty lucky considering my house was only delayed a few more months than we thought. And we went over budget, but not terribly over budget.
I thought you'd have your countertops by now.
Yeah, this week might be the week.
Oh,
now.
really?
This week might be the week they finally arrived on a ship. And I saw some people speculating, like, how did it take so long? Like, I ordered a kitchen and it was there next week. Yeah, it's like ordering something in LA versus New York versus Texas versus somewhere like, you're not going to a national retailer. It's here in LA. Clearly, it's backed up. But we probably went tens of thousands of dollars over budget, but not terrible, which, a lot of people anticipated. Let's see. When Covino had his panic attack and the ambulance came, maybe he was being possessed by the person that died there. No, don't put that in his head.
Thanks, Joe. That's great. That's something
Don't
that
put-
my neighbor would tell me.
Don't
Yeah,
do it.
appreciate that. Joe will.
The reason Boris left was because he was spooked out of here. What?
Yeah, but when you have the conscious wherewithal as an adult to say, yeah, why would I tell this new person excited about their home?
My next door neighbor
About
committed
something like
suicide
that.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
That would be like me.
Yeah, it's just
Going
deciding.
to the new neighbor and
Yes.
being like, yo, it's crazy how Doug killed himself in the garage, right?
Right.
It's like, what? Yeah, got my next door neighbor. I remember waking up on a Sunday morning, and unfortunately, he did that thing. You know where people close the garage door and run their car? And they die from the fumes and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
it was one of those like wake up Sunday mornings, like what the
terrible
fuck's
things
going
happen.
on? And
Life
it's like,
happens.
oh man,
I get it.
Doug's dead. I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, maybe he does want to smash some helmets with me, Drew Mack. You're right. Maybe that's where this relationship and story leads. Thank you, Larry Elroy. All ports are backed up. That's why you got to order your Christmas presents now.
Yep.
Deliveries are on major delays. I'm all backed up too. I'm all backed up.
If
I don't know if
by
it's medicine or what.
If by the end of 2021, I could have my kitchen and the pantry done and like the actual house, like, hey, we're done, that would be fucking fantastic. That's like 2 months. I don't know if that'll happen. Do you feel like I feel like when I go to your place, you're officially unpacked. You're living life.
Yeah, I like I said, and I had a lot of productive little moments this weekend that make the place feel like a home, and it's nice. But this guy cramped my whole weekend with that news. So hope you had a good weekend, guys. We got some random news to get to.
I have a lot of questions.
We
Can I
have
start with
lots of
something fun?
questions. Question time with Rich, and your feedback's still coming in at 412-267-7469 at Covino and Rich, at Steve Covino, Rich Davis Spot Center. And thank you guys for being on our Patreon. Let's do it.
There's a trend on social media. I want you to do an experiment. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Spot, can you pull up the first Exhibit A? Hopefully this goes better than when you see when Portnoy was doing his press conference and his person that was working his slides kept fucking up. No.
Who was
But I
working
like
his
his pizza.
slides?
His
No,
pizza's good.
No, the guy does a press conference to try to like prove his innocence. And he's like, slide 1. And the fucking bozo working for him, you could see the frustration in him. Like, fucking put up the slide.
One bite, you know the rules. Little doughy, not tangy enough, but I liked it.
Spot.
Tangy.
Hit the first TikTok clip. I want to see how you do with this, Covino. Ready?
I know this chick.
All right. Here we go.
Finger, rub it on the bottom of your tongue.
Using
what
one
does it feel like?
Using one finger, rub the bottom of your tongue. Go ahead.
I'm not doing that.
You ready?
Yeah,
I'm
go
really,
ahead.
I mean, I could visualize it.
Spot,
Okay.
do it. Go ahead.
Underneath?
Yeah. So
Spot, use one finger. Put yourself on the screen. Let's.
well.
I'm only not doing that for sanity. I mean, I'm just getting over COVID.
You can't get more COVID.
I mean, I don't know that.
I don't think you can get more COVID. Yeah, so just rub the bottom of your tongue, right? Is that feeling with the front of your, with the tip of your finger, like rub the bottom of your tongue.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Now play the rest of the video.
That's weird.
Right? Yeah.
Like that?
And apparently, every woman says rubbing the bottom of your tongue for a few seconds ends up feeling like the same sensation as having a penis in your mouth. Spot.
Is that true?
It's a trend where girls like rub the bottom of your tongue and
feel like a penis in your mouth, Spot?
I feel,
feel like there was a
better
cock-
knowing that it just felt like I was just licking my finger.
I don't know, Spot.
Well, I have a question. When
Wow, you
does
really
she
got
have-
me, Rich.
When does she have that epiphany?
Thanks
though?
for playing along, Spot.
Like,
It's a TikTok trend. I saw it. I'm like, what is this? And then I clicked on another one. I'm like, oh, apparently rubbing the bottom of your tongue somehow simulates the feeling of like what a penis feels like.
I'll give you the
I just
shrugging
feel like-
Indian for that.
Now I just feel dirty.
All right, Spot. Sorry. All right. Let me cross that.
I'm like a-
I've never imagined it.
Failed experiment.
Don't care about it. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't have played it. I'm saying I've
Have
never
him do it.
cared to wonder what it feels like.
Rich, you do it.
Hold on. Ask someone that's had a penis in their mouth. Sarah!
Oh my God.
Sarah, come here 1 second. All right. Can you just put your pointer finger on the bottom of your tongue?
Use your pinky.
Use your why would you use a pinky? Just put your finger on the bottom of your tongue and just rub your tongue. Just do it. No, just do it. After you do that for a while, does it feel like the sensation of a penis in your mouth? Do it again. Take your finger and just rub.
Tell her to come over here.
It doesn't? Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't work.
Try to pinky. It'll probably remind you more of Rich.
I just said that.
Yeah, that was his joke. That's why. So apparently that's a TikTok trend.
Sorry, Spot. I was writing notes.
All right, let me
That's
look.
okay.
All right, failed experiment number 1. Next conversation.
And
Thank
yet
you, Sarah.
another
Thanks, Spot.
failed TikTok from Rich Davis, everybody.
All right, you bring one, Spot. What's your TikTok?
I mean, I don't even know how that's a possibility, but
Well, you know how sometimes like something will stimulate and feel the same as something else?
I mean, I guess, yeah. But like I said, like in the video, it's like she has this epiphany, like, I know what you're doing. It's like, how? I don't know. Weird. TikTok's a weird place.
Spot.
TikTok is a weird place.
I ask you, this is question number 2.
It is a weird place, let me tell you.
This is question number 2. We could talk about more dead ghosts in people's houses. Do you want to? I mean,
honestly, I would love to talk about ghosts.
there's another video.
That's where I was going to lead the conversation, but I don't like sharing ghost stories. Maybe that's not the vibe, like
Yeah.
whatever. But
We passed the spooky season.
I do, yeah, we passed spooky season, but I do feel a little spooked since. So go ahead, continue next
Unless you
one.
want to talk about the ghost of Christmas past.
Spot. Look
Next
at
question.
look at the next video I sent you. This is a question of how far would you go for your friend? Because women seem to do stuff like this. Spot, hit it.
So I was waxing my roommate's asshole like a good roommate does.
Lydia, I have a really important question.
What?
Will you wax my asshole?
Oh, sure.
Are you?
What the fuck, bro? I mean, that's how you can ask Michelle.
Wait, what?
Why, Lydia? I want to wax it.
Now,
I want to wax it.
I only bring this up because women
way better at it.
women change in front of each other. Women seem to be way more comfortable with their women friends. How far would you go for a friend? If someone's like, yo, I think there's like a weird fucking thing in my butthole. Will you look at it?
Nope.
If Spot's like, I think I have a cancerous growth on my ball sack. Can you take a look?
No, I get it. You're right about the women being more comfortable about those things. And, you know, some women are good at those things. For all we know, that's what her pal's good at, waxing and doing shit like that. But
women watch each other, and women get like spray tan together
they
naked.
get naked together all the time.
Women are like,
I
oh my
get it.
God, feel my titty. Like, I've never been like, Covino, feel my nutsack.
Just the difference between how men and, you know, women bond and operate. And, yeah, there's no need to look at my buddy's asshole.
Women
ever.
will fucking snuggle and watch a movie together. Covino and I have never snuggled to watch a fight together.
No.
But I do wonder if your buddy did say, listen, man, I got a really embarrassing question. Like, yo, can I show you something on my dick? Would you be like, all right? Or you'd be like, no, bro, go to a fucking doctor. If Gus said, yo, I'm really concerned about this little growth by my penis. Tell me if this looks weird. Would you be like, all right, Gus, whip it out? She said yes really quick. I think that's just because women are so comfortable with each other opposed to men.
Do you want me to look at your butthole?
I think there's lines
Or your
that
penis?
bros don't cross. That's part of it. Like, you don't need to see my dick. You don't need to see my asshole. And we don't need to, like, lay around naked all day.
Is that just
Unless we're
our-
on our primal, like, male bonding excursion.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Are we too caught up in our masculine mindsets? Do we need to be more like
all
the
right,
dude
man.
from you?
Old school is the school I went to.
Do we need to be like the ripped caveman dude from you and be like, yeah, let's bang helmets and
I'm into helmet mashing with clothes on. That's about it. Yeah. Women do what women do. That's what makes them different. I think they were a little bold and gross about it. I
agreed.
felt a lack of class in that clip, but I'm not going to TikTok for highbrow entertainment.
yeah, but I'm saying like if you would like a girl being like, hey, will you help me wax my butthole or vagina? Girlfriends would be like, all right, sure.
Women do like doing that, like maintaining even their man. So, you know, it's part of what they do as well. It's like we talk often about how women get off on wanting to pop your pimples, to pluck your hairs, to shave your back. You have Sarah doing all that shit for you. But yeah, bros don't need to go that far. How far will you go? That's a good question.
I have a question. Are you too,
All right, hold on.
masculine? Yeah, I have a good one. Are you too masculine or machismo to rub sunscreen on Spot's back?
No.
You doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yep.
I'd do it for you.
Yeah. That's a, you know, that's a.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's as far as I would go, but I would definitely go there.
I'm not going to say I'm going to like it, but
No,
I'll
I'm
do it for sun protection.
I would.
On my hairy back.
It's so funny. I think there's guys that are
I
cut from
shave
that.
Spots back.
But that's also like barber.
that's not
but
it.
that's like
That's like,
that
yeah,
was
like
like extended.
maintenance
That was extended barber
All right, if
maintenance.
you're having like you're at the beach with your buds or something like that. Everyone's getting ready to go out. No, but everyone's ready to hit the beach. And I'm there, shaving or whatever. And like, Spot. Of course I'll be like, yo, Spot, you got fucking wolf
back.
shit going on in your shoulder. Come here, let me get
Would you shave the furry patch off the above my ass?
Yeah, he wouldn't shave your butthole, but if you were wearing your swim trunks and you had a little hairs on your
rough
back,
patch, yeah.
Spot, he would.
I would. So anything that I would show other people, you would shave.
Okay, I got it. I'll go even grosser. Let's say Spot had a bad back, right?
A bacchiotomy?
And we're going to the beach. He's like, dude, I noticed there's a lot to ask.
Will you wipe my ass?
I can't bend. I'm trying to clip my toenail.
Oh,
This motherfucker's gross toenail. If I had to, as a
My
friend.
toenails are nice now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying if you really want me to engage in this question, that's probably the furthest I'll go. Right?
yeah.
Wow, that's true friendship.
I think so. I think I would do that. I wouldn't want. No one would want to, but as a friend, yeah, sure.
I remember when I bring up the sunscreen one because when I was in Montauk,
I don't know if I'd clip your nails.
my buddy was so quick to like, he's like, yo, it's fucking hot out here. Get over here. And he like rubbed sunscreen on my shoulders. And I was like, we've been friends for 30-something years. But I was like, I guess, why would I be uncomfortable with someone rubbing sunscreen on my shoulder?
Nah, it's not that. I mean,
We're caught up in our masculine ways. That's why you got to watch You season 3 and be a caveman.
I liked it. I liked You season 3. I
was
didn't
good.
love it. I liked it.
You like Dexter?
I'm
the
loving
first two?
Dexter. I'll save my Dexter conversation next. I want to get through these questions.
All right. So that was
Rich's riveting TikTok questions.
Do you love penis? It was a failed experiment.
That was weak.
How far would you go for a buddy? I think sunscreen's all right. Helping someone with their foot or shoe if they can't bend over. shaving a random hair if you go to the beach and you don't want your bro to look stupid.
That's about it. Yeah. Don't need to see any of his insides.
Yeah. If he's like,
Or
hey,
crevices. No
he's
one
like,
needs to see your bro's
Would
crevices.
you shave my armpits?
You could do that yourself, but if you were disabled, yes. If you were like, I can't do it, I broke my arm, yes.
I'd manscape you if I had to.
Thanks.
That's it, though.
If you were like, yo, is this a
Not your
hemorrhoid? If
asshole.
you were like, is this a hemorrhoid or a pimple? You're on your own for that one.
Yeah, private parts, no thanks.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. How far would you go for a bud? Next question.
This took a turn.
Next question. One's porn related and one's football related. We're going to do both. Where do you want to go first?
Let's go in order.
Football? All right. Real quick one.
You said porn, then football.
Oh, porn then football?
You
okay,
did,
porn.
yeah.
Okay, sorry, porn. I've noticed more and more. Maybe it's just my search history.
Wow.
But I have noticed that
Aren't there algorithms?
I don't know if it's because of the social media world we live in now. And that's probably the answer to everything, right? The answer is probably yes, it is because of the social media world we live in now. That's the answer to 9 out of 10 questions.
Quitting it, man.
I know. Listen, if you weren't on the radio and podcasting and have aspirations of media and you're still in it, I think that I would probably be off of most of it too.
Will I really? No. But do I want to? Yes.
You know why? Because the first meeting we had when they were like, hey, let's go over social. Like, it's a fucking
just-
necessary evil.
Exactly.
I don't think I would ever delete shit. I think I would just be less active. So, something I've noticed on the hub and smut sites, again, probably because of the emergence of social media on a level that is absurd. Like, people live through it now. The whole world of NFTs is going to dominate the next decades of our life, which is why I'm so desperately trying to understand them, because we live in a world now where a kid that is young, Melody's age, or teenager, they're going to end up valuing their $150 pair of Nikes just as much as the $150 they spent on their online personas fake Nikes. It's the truth. People's online persona is going to be more important than their in-person persona, which is I guess you would say, the most basic of ways to explain NFTs, right? Like, hey,
it's all status.
A Prada bag is $4,000. Why would someone pay for a picture of a Prada bag online? Because a younger person views their online persona as more important than their real life persona.
If you need to know where your future is headed, watch Ready Player One. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's a good one.
By the way, think about
it's
it.
a great movie. It's a Steven Spielberg movie.
I've never watched it, but I know the analogy.
Oh, it's
I watched a video of the weekend.
Never seen it?
No, I'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah, it's really
there's a
great.
video of some guy explaining
Really next level.
explaining all the stocks that will benefit from NFTs, and a lot of them are they've been a little hot where you don't want to enter right now, but there's stocks that
Never want to enter when it's hot.
Well, hold
You know,
on. I mean, to put it in this tiny little bit of perspective, when you get your weekly screen time breakdowns, there's a good chance you're spending 8 hours a day on social media and on your phone. Think what a young person does. So their reality is more caught up in that. They're fake Nikes, they're fake Prada bags, they're fake Versace's, or virtual, I should say, are more useful in that amount of time.
What would you call
than
someone's
when they're not doing anything in their actual reality?
Spot, what do you call someone's character?
Avatar.
Their avatar, right? So if your avatar,
There's a whole movie.
if your avatar
Is getting
wearing-
9
wearing-
hours of interaction.
Yeah. If you're interacting through your avatar with more people than real life Steve is,
then what has more value?
So it's like,
Right.
do I want
Your virtual reality or your actual
do
reality?
I want fucking new Yeezys or do I want fucking NFT non-tangible Yeezys on my avatar?
Right.
Non-fungible.
Which is the
Non-fungible, I'm sorry.
the virtual clout.
Yeah, you're gonna go home. Hell, you may not even go. You may not even leave the house anymore. We're gonna be like Wally. You put on your. We already have the technology. You put on your Oculus or your VR goggles, whatever they are.
Can I
You
put
sit
on an
there.
Oculus and smash helmets with Drew Mack from
Yeah,
here
you
to
could.
Nashville?
And that wouldn't be gay.
Wow.
And the technology within your virtual reality is going to just be so insane. You're going to get to go visit different people, different worlds.
Spot, I saw a
You will get
demonstration.
to hang out with Drew Mack, but he'll look like a handsomer version of Drew Mack,
I saw
and you'll look like Mario Lopez.
I saw a video
Or you
of
could
what
be
the
anyone you
future
want.
Spot. I saw a video of what the future of conferences will be, and it was a bunch of avatars sitting around a table that simulated the exact same look of the conference room at that company. And everyone was dressed like you get to choose what you wear. Like, oh, there's Covino. He's wearing a Yankee t-shirt, jeans, and some Yeezys, and he's sitting in chair number 2. And you'll be able to attend meetings as your avatar, and that's how corporations will work. That's how kids will interact. So if you're...
We all laughed at Will.i.am when he was a hologram for the election coverage.
I didn't mean to get off on a tangent on NFTs and all that, but that's where the future is going, and it's wild to think that in the future I'm going to have to accept the fact that my kids will probably want, when my kids are grown, what do you want for Christmas, Ben? I want hey Dad, I want an avatar of this football player's jersey. You don't want the real one? No, Dad, I want the NFT of it. Because there's a chance that they'll be communicating with their friends more online, and I don't know the answer. I wish I knew the answer, by the way, Lisa Parahagio.
The point is, virtual reality has more value than actual reality in our future.
Like Jason Brown just echoed what I said.
Yeah.
It's Ready Player One. It really is.
It's hard to understand. It's hard for someone of our parents' generation to wrap their head around it. I think we could mildly do it, but for a younger person, they're already living that world with Roblox. Look at Roblox. Roblox is step 1 to that generation caring more about... Because Roblox is the first one. I don't even know much about it. I saw this on a YouTube video. Roblox is the first one where you're not just doing your thing in a virtual thing. You're interacting with people you know as yourself. So that's why Roblox.
And you're creating your avatar.
And
and your identity, and you're paying for your own look, and you're customizing it. You can create your own stores. You can create your own FTs. You can create anything on that.
Just based on how people now are making their own money through...
Gas fees are annoying, though.
People are making their own money, Spot, through
gas fees.
Websites like what? OnlyFans, Patreon, Twitch. There's people are now their own...
Los Lonely fans. I'm starting the Mexican one.
People are their own content creators. So how does porn tie into this? I'll tell you. Because lately, I've been seeing more and more... I'm talking... the few porn stars you actually know their name because they're fucking good looking, they've been around for a minute. You know a few of them.
I'm kind of off that a little bit. Okay. Not for any righteous reason. It's just like I don't know the names the way I used to.
Man, your penis really is broken.
I mean, I haven't felt it in over 3 weeks.
Shout out to Johnny Sins. He can be anything.
Johnny Sins.
So
he's the most recognizable face. He's been in every porn.
What I've noticed is... Yeah, Minecraft, Animal Crossing, all that, I get it. But we're talking Roblox is the first one where you're ultimately like customizing to a high level.
It's publicly traded.
And it's a publicly traded company. And it's a different level.
It's you have people creating their own games, their own worlds, their own personas, their own, like I said, their own stores. It's next level.
So people want to live virtually more than they do in real life.
Sure.
And we've talked about how the art of the big production is a little old school, right? Like, you know how we talk about how radio went from bits and production and scam phone calls and parody songs to like people want, I just want to hear fucking real conversation, right?
You know, I'm not going to hijack your thought, but I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been questioning about our career. And it's like, you realize we had a career.
Yeah.
You know,
still do.
And still do. However, so many careers have changed, and people could do these things from the comforts of their own home and in different ways, which make them appear like they're not necessarily a career anymore, being that anybody could just do these things.
No, of course.
And it's not just our industry. It's many industries.
Yeah, look at the music industry.
I mean, it goes on and on and on.
You could say like,
you could be a chef and
is there a difference between
just someone else can do it?
Right, Ty Verdes, you know that song, Ayo, okay. You know that song, Spot. Play A-OK by Ty Verdes. Fucking big song of the year.
My point is, what used to be viewed as a career in broadcasting, journalism, pick anything.
Yeah.
Is something that anybody could essentially do now, probably from their home.
Yeah.
So careers as a whole have changed, especially ours.
Yeah. You know this song right here, right? Spot, crank this.
In this big blue world, with my head up in outer space. I know I'll be A-OK.
So this dude was working at a phone store 2 years ago, and he just started putting his music on social media, and people were like, oh, I like him.
Cricket Wireless?
Yeah.
The whole
T-Mobile.
world of like having to get a label to believe in you and sign you and do all that, right? Look at Bella Porch. And I build a bitch. Dun, dun. That girl's making funny faces on TikTok and became a star.
That's how she got popular.
Yeah. So
By lip syncing.
So, I mean, we're living in a world where professionalism takes a backseat to like what people really like, right? Or what they want, more natural, normal shit, right? Like I said, in radio, people used to prep a radio show with like, all right, we're going to do a prank phone call. Then we're going to do a parody song. And then we're going to do like a fake movie trailer for this thing.
Especially us, but we've all had to pivot because of technology and because of what's available to the common fella.
Well, while that was what people wanted back then, now people desire more real life conversation. They want to hear you talk about your life. They want to hear about real stories. They want to relate. Where back in the day it was like, all right, Covino, you got that parody song? All right, cool, Spot. You have that new jingle you made? Like shit like that doesn't matter anymore. And in the porn world, see, here's my transition. Yeah. I'm seeing more and more of like the top tier porn stars getting a lot of views. And I say a lot of views because, you know, if you click most viewed, that's how you see what's obviously hot, right? A lot of people fucking their fans on like Snapchat and OnlyFans. And I just wonder if that's like a category that's clearly the wave of the future. Like take Adriana Chechik, right? Pick any like big porn star that's like top tier, right? What do you rather watch? Her getting banged by some stud with like on like a widescreen 4K thing? Or do you want to be like, hey, it's me, Adriana. I'm going to this guy's house. He's a fan of mine. And I'm going to fuck a fan. And it's like the quality's not as good, but there's something like, I don't know how to describe it. Like something real about it, even though it might not be real. Like
the world of Pornhub, what is it? Amateur originals, whatever it is. The amateur porn, the world of amateur porn is to me just as good of quality as regular porn.
That's what I'm saying, Covino. Like much like radio, much like television, much like streaming, much like music. What used to take a big production could be done much simpler now.
To me, the quality of like Leo Lulu or No Face Girl, who I know Drew Mack loves, is just as good, if not better, than produced porn, and I'd rather watch that. It's better for me.
If you don't think pornography, which is this is a sad fun fact, it's like $1 billion industry. Mm-hmm. If you don't think they're leading the way of technology, again, I was watching these videos about NFTs and virtual software and all this stuff for the future, and one of the first things they bring up was like, the guy was like a professional guy, was like, and I must mention, maybe some aren't into it, but the adult industry will benefit from this greatly because you're going to have like the most amazing virtual smut, and I just wonder if people want that realness and the virtual realness more than anything.
People don't want that professional. I mean, I prefer a balance, right? A little mix because I'm a little old school. I want to separate myself from the schlub or the hack, even though they may have more listeners. I know I'm better than them. But are you if they have more people? That's like the weird twist also. That's also the adjustment. That's the pivot that we're all trying to figure out. You know, what was a career is no longer. It's available for anybody, whether it's in the health industry, whether it's in the broadcasting industry, music industry, you name it. Everything has pivoted. Everything has shifted, and we've had to make the adjustments. Now, I'm Key says a lot of technology was pioneered by porn. Porn's always the industry to do shit first. They're the reason Blu-ray was adapted for DVDs. So Archmage says technology is usually advanced through sex or war. There you go.
Catapults.
It's wild to think that, right?
I think we all want to. Yeah, we don't yearn for, and we saw it in our own company at SiriusXM.
It just
overly produced things do not translate to the younger eyes. It's unnecessary, and we've all had to make that adjustment.
So I just figured I'd bring that up because you see it more and more. It's like, hey, I'm the hot young porn star. I'm going to go fuck a fan. And then you're like, is that guy really a regular guy? So there's that weird intrigue there. It's like, wild. And then it made me think of the question for you, even though you're not on that game right now. I'm not saying I am, but I think everyone looks at a little smut here and there. Spot, do you think you could deliver if you were the fan? Or do you think you'd fucking last like 1 second, not get a boner, like fail? Do you, like, if you were to be like, who's the one you like? Lululemon? What is it?
Leo
Lulu?
Lululemon are the pants
Yeah.
I'm wearing right now.
Leo Lululemon.
Leo Lulu is some like hot faceless girl, I think, right? She bangs her boyfriend all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple.
Yeah.
I
It's a
actually
couple.
do know
They,
that.
Yeah. Oof.
So if
Shows
Lulu
like-
if Lulu came knocking on your door and your wife was like, "Go ahead," do you think you'd deliver? Or you think you'd be like, "Oh," and like get a fucking soft off and be scared and like, how do you think you if you were the fan?
I think I could. I'd be like Amazon, bro.
Here's the thing for me. If you
You
want my
deliver?
honest answer,
Deliver Prime.
there you go, Swati. I'm a one-on-one kind of guy when it comes to basketball and when it comes to moments like this. If you have a whole production there, I'm not feeling it, not into it, and I don't think I'm delivering. I'm being serious. I'm not Karl Malone when it comes to this or Mr. McFeely. But if it was like a real intimate sort of thing, and this was a get down, as far as like, oh, this is the porn star that I've always been after, and this is the moment, and it's just a very closed off sort of scenario, yeah. Why not?
even if you knew it was going to be out there for everyone to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Okay.
But we were talking about delivering though.
Well, yeah, delivering for
Yeah, I don't think I would.
something where it's being filmed for public consumption.
Camera shy ding ding for
Camera
some.
shot, yeah. Thank you, Crystal. Thanks, Steven, Texas. Jason
Could I
Brown.
be no face boy? I think I could deliver if like they didn't know it was me.
Would it be a turnoff knowing how many dudes she's been with? I don't think so, Steve. I don't look at it that way. I mean, it's not someone you're gonna marry. I've never thought of someone I've hooked up with as like how many people they've been with. Like that's like an immature thought, unless it's someone you want to end up with and there's moral like life partner things you're looking for. But I've never hooked up with the thought of how many guys has she been with. That's like a silly thought.
What do you mean? You lost me there. As far as like someone you want to
so,
settle
like,
with,
I'm saying for
or someone you're just getting
partner, lifetime partner.
With. Yeah.
You may say my moral compass and what I look for in someone.
Oh, but someone you're just hooking up with.
No judgment.
Yeah.
But you might say, me personally would not prefer to marry someone that's been with fucking hundreds of dudes, and that's your choice. But if it's a hookup, like a simple hookup,
yeah.
I would never be like, gross, she's been with a lot of dudes. Like, I'd be like, no, who gives a shit? Did she shower? Does she got diseases? No, all right, we're good. Let's go.
Agreed. Okay. Other questions?
All right.
Football.
Are we all dumb? And I say are we all dumb? Not because of the parity
You said
in
you
the
were going
league.
from porn to football.
These are my favorite things.
But are we all dumb? Is this the question?
Yeah, are we dumb?
Oh,
Are we
okay.
dumb? Because in the beginning of the season, I know we need storylines. I know sports talk radio and TV live off of this. They need the storylines, right? At the end of the day, and the beginning and middle, all the talk of these teams that are having their ups and downs, reach arounds, they're going through a slump. At the end of the day, does Mahomes figure it out?
Is that a butt?
I mean,
And because last night,
5 tutties last night.
last night the Chiefs looked like they were.
Had that magic again, feeling it. We had some trick plays last night. It really went our way, and that's when things start rolling. When little things start going in our direction that way. 5 touchdowns felt great. Great win last night.
Cove, look at it this way. Yeah, their defense is sus, as the kids say. They got a suspect defense. They stink. Their defense stinks.
the kids and you.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Yeah. Their defense is sus. But if I were to tell you right now, we're in week 10 of the NFL, fast forward till a few months from now, you and I are sitting here on a Saturday or Sunday chilling, having a drink, watching the playoffs. Are you surprised at all when it's Kansas City, Buffalo, Tampa, Green Bay? Are we just all again fooling ourselves into buying into other storylines just for the joy of it?
The storyline that came for me out of left field was the fact that all of a sudden the Patriots are the Super Bowl contenders that I didn't see coming, and it's true.
They're well coached. Even Baker Mayfield and the Browns said, "Yeah, we were just out coached." So it shows that I saw something that said, "Is the seesaw moving in the direction a little bit of Belichick now over Brady?"
So
Brady won a Super Bowl with Tampa, but
seems
still
that way. So as far as will all the obvious teams be there? Yeah, I was just surprised that the Patriots came out of nowhere.
There might be a surprise here or there, but I'm saying what's the old phrase? When the dust settles, are we just really looking at Josh Allen in Buffalo, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, Tom Brady, the Bucks, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, maybe the Rams and Cardinals make a little noise, but is it when we come up with these stories? Yeah, maybe the Cowboys. When we come up with these storylines, are we just entertaining ourselves and just making good gossip? And the reality is, like, Patrick Mahomes, man, the Chiefs stink. They're done. They're in first place right now.
5 touchdowns, first place.
They
big game last night.
They stunk, but now they're in first place. And God, if they start clicking even a little bit, do you want to play Kansas City in the playoffs?
Not if they're hot, you know.
NFL is all over the place. I agree.
Now, check this out. NFL is all over the place. That's the whole storyline. FoxSportsRadio.com if you want to hear our take on it last night. The other takeaways were, you know, Rich mentioned Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, and how maybe things are shifting toward Belichick, but how did he lose so bad against the Washington football team this weekend?
I saw that first interception was in the receiver's hands and it fucking popped out right into a defender. But, I mean, you have a bad week.
Washington football team won by 10 this weekend. Patriots dominated the Browns. Ridiculous. And Aaron Rodgers clearly handled COVID better than I did. So he's back, 292 yards, and a shutout victory over the Seattle Seahawks. So those are some of the takeaways as far as the world of football. We talked about it again in depth. FoxSportsRadio.com. It was a fun, again, another unpredictable weekend of football.
And then Tennessee. Does Tennessee get zero credit because they're the best team in the AFC?
6 games in a row.
No one cares. They just snuck by Jason Brown's Saints. A lot of trap games people are losing. And I agree with Andrew to some extent. It is kind of silly to predict the future of sports, but it's $1 billion industry. Sports radio, television, podcasting. It's what people do. I know. It's the reason they play the games. No one would have thought Washington beats Tom Brady. No one would have thought Jacksonville beats the Bills. No one would have thought the Ravens got killed by Miami on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, and we saw a tie.
A fucking tie.
Right.
Like, 2 teams that seemed like they didn't want to win.
Right, exactly.
Oh, it was gross that
and
game.
Players that didn't even realize they could tie. So that was the update
shocks
there.
me every year. I know it happened with Donovan McNabb back in the day.
Wait, so hold on. Are we all dumb is the question. It's just the fodder that goes along with the season.
It's fun, I guess. Yeah, it is good fodder. But at the end of the day, we're all dumb to think like, oh man, what do you think about this team? Would they ever No, usually it's the good teams that emerge. And every so often, there's an Eli Manning that gets hot with the Giants. But for the most part, would you be surprised if KC went to the AFC Championship?
No, and the best point I think Rich made last night, again, FoxSportsRadio.com. Check the podcast. It's not just about football. It's a fun show we have every weekend. Is if you look at the record, the extended schedule now with 17 games, your Super Bowl team could be 14-3, 12-5.
Yeah, 14-3 would be tremendous.
That's a great season.
And not many teams even have a chance to be 14-3 because most teams in the league right now.
11-6.
Most teams
you could
in the
have
league.
an 11-6 team. So that means you lose 6 games. So here we are speculating 6 games. That seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That a championship caliber team
They've
is gonna lose a few. And the analogy I gave last night was it's like the world of boxing.
Yeah.
How everyone holds on to their someone's has got to go, but no one wants to lose. In the world of UFC, the greatest champions have lots of losses under their belt. It doesn't make them any less of a champion or any less dominant. And the same applies in the NFL.
No.
College football to boxing as NFL is to UFC.
Boxing or college football, you lose, you're done. MMA and the NFL, the greatest lose quite a bit.
They lose quite a bit. So for us to speculate is us being dumb, but it's part of being a fan.
Yeah, so when you see the best team in the league go, we have that extra game. So you're right. If the best team in the league goes 12-5 or 11-6, maybe 13-4, the best team still 4, 5, or 6 times a year got the fan base scratching their head.
Exactly. And that's
Joe Montana. Joe Montana's won one of his Super Bowls. The Niners, I remember, were 10-6.
But it's also
like
fair.
That's like good.
Let's be fair on ourselves. It's also fair to speculate.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
like off week, injury, pacing yourself. It's a long season, kind of. I get it. So anyway, that's another weekend of football. 10 weeks in, and tonight, Rich's 49ers take on the Rams, and we get the debut of OBJ as a Ram. So something else to look forward to. We'll touch on before the end of the show, maybe some predictions. But Let's get into some rando news, Rich, unless
By
you
the
have
way,
more questions, too.
Cam Newton's back. How about that?
Cam Newton's back. He's back.
Back.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Back. That was cool. Even if you don't like Cam Newton, how do you not love that moment?
It was a cool moment for sure. It was one of the highlights of the weekend. So, in other rando news, NFL, fun. I do want to throw this out there for the Miguel Miggses of the world that care, Paul Murillos that care, all the Vatos Locos that care. I saw a fight this weekend. I wouldn't go out on a limb and tell you it was a potential fight of the year if it wasn't.
Okay.
So if you have DAZN and you missed it, please watch it. When you get Puerto Ricans and Mexicans battling, it's always a war. There's pride on the line. And you had a 25-year-old Jaime Munguia fight Gabriel Rosado, who's 35, and it was a fucking all-out battle fight of the year. That's what everybody's calling it. It was incredible. And this Munguia kid, when I tell you he's a superstar, unbelievable talent, to the point where his next fight might be Triple G if Triple G beats Murata December 29th in Japan.
I think you're making up names.
So anyway, new middleweight superstar on the horizon. A lot of people who know already. I'm just saying to you guys, Jaime Munguia, you might not know, but you should. And it was a great fight this weekend. So I'm throwing it out there as part of the rando news. And in other news, Chris Daughtry, did you see that this weekend? Sad.
His 25-year-old stepdaughter died.
But they were saying homicide.
Yeah, I think the boyfriend, right? Or
I
something.
mean,
There's a story going on that I didn't look at all the details, but it's not like an accidental death. Like there was
And you know what's
murder.
sad is he's on the road, he's touring with Seven Dust and other bands that I'm into. Chris Daughtry, former American Idol, super talented guy. His stepdaughter, they found her dead. I think you said 25, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so many questions there, and like it's sad that they have to postpone their concert dates. It's like, who wants to even think about that when your kid was
he's going
murdered?
through going through real life shit, and he has to worry about like ticket
postponing.
refunds.
Yeah,
and
it's like cancel the fucking tour. Postponing,
but
I get it. It's their job. It's what they do.
but then he's got to worry about his livelihood and money, and that's where you make money. So he's thinking like,
that's his livelihood.
What's his balance of like?
It's not like like he could stop. It's so fucking terrible, man. That's just life.
But then, so how is he? First of all, how is he supposed to perform on stage with all that in his head? But then he can't just not make money. So and then this applies to everyone in life. Yeah.
Life moves forward, and we have to stay resilient. Right? Life doesn't make any exceptions for anybody. But something weird about that when the first announcements that I see are like about his postponements and like meaning like he still has to make that shit up. Even though he's dealing with the murder of his stepdaughter, but who's his daughter as far as I knew. Wasn't that his story? Like part of his story?
Well, yeah, no, he raised her.
Yeah, he
and
raised her and everything.
Step parents are a big part of a lot of people's lives, man.
Yeah.
I think the crazy part is you and I have saw this, and I'll be honest, I hope this never happens to any single person listening or watching us, but I just don't know how you really move on with your life when you lose a kid. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it, but like when we had a coworker that we're close with who lost a kid, and I remember thinking like, how does this guy even, how do you show up to work again? How do you do anything? Like it's resilience, I guess. But it's like, I don't know how you even focus for the rest of your life.
Speaking of, not to be negative Norberto, but Astro World in the news again because there was a kid that everyone was rooting for to pull through. We're talking Travis Scott's Astro World concert festival and all the deaths that came as a result of just bad planning and people being jerk-offs. 9-year-old kid Ezra Blount, who was crushed, was hanging on to his life. He was in a coma, I believe, for a minute. Passed away yesterday. He's the 10th victim. So the 9th little kid passed away yesterday at the hospital from Astro World. So yeah, sad story.
Terrible.
That's the update there. And it's hard to support anything from that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, could I bring something fun and different since that's all sad shit?
That's just part of the rando news that was kind of unavoidable.
Have you been watching the new Curb?
I don't like it that much. I have.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have. I do. But again, my moods are
Off
a
all over
little
the place.
bit. Yeah.
What did you watch all of them or just one of them?
Just the first one. No, 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 1.5 in on. I think there's 3 episodes so far.
I think last night might have been 4. If I haven't caught
Okay.
up, but yeah. So the new Curb got me thinking because at the end of the last episode, at the end of episode 3, Larry, or is it the end of episode 2? He's sitting where an orchestra is playing Frolic by Luciano Michelini. And you're like, Frolic, yeah. The theme song to Curb Your Enthusiasm was being played by the orchestra, and that went into the ending credits. And for some reason, I looked it up, and there was an interview with Larry David like years ago. And people said, Larry, where'd you find that music for Curb Your Enthusiasm? Because it's pretty distinct. And now it's being used on TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff. Like when someone does something dumb or weird, you kick into the dun 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 dun.
It's just such a signature thing now.
I just don't think that like Albert Brooks, is he such a legend that they have to
Albert
portray
Brooks.
him in such a way on this show?
I bet that was a funny episode, the Albert Brooks one.
It was okay.
I love that episode. I'm surprised you didn't like it. So
you love Albert Brooks, Spot?
I love Albert.
I don't love Albert Brooks. I
love
him.
Albert Brooks movies.
I think
he's hilarious.
I don't know enough about Albert Brooks or his person. Like, I think Richard Lewis was great, and you don't really know much about him when he was on the show for a while.
But Richard Lewis, I know they're both comedians from back in the day. Richard Lewis, to me, way more dynamic than that guy.
Albert Brooks.
What about Vince Vaughn with Larry?
Yeah, I didn't get to episodes of Vince Vaughn yet, so I think I'm 2 in.
Albert Brooks has a very dry but lighthearted sense of comedy. Defending Your Life is one of my favorite movies.
Well, Albert Brooks, and there's no spoiler, Andrew. Albert Brooks is on the show. Larry hangs out with all his random old celebrity friends that they portray on the show, right?
Jewish friends.
Yeah. And
Albert Brooks is a
I'm
legend.
giving away nothing by an orchestra playing the theme song. So I looked it up. I'm like, where does, because these are the little things that take things to the next level. You see this on behind the movies that made us. When you do the behind the scenes stuff, it's like, and then when Home Alone added the soundtrack, or when this movie added the soundtrack, like it just takes it to a new level. Like Back to the Future, add the fucking John Williams score, and it's such an impact. Jurassic Park. There's movies where the soundtrack takes it to the next level. And Spot, turn it up. We know this is the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, right? Tuba just denotes like wah, wah.
Right. Like either fat people or comedy.
So you're thinking like, yeah, that's a really the transitions in between scenes too with that tuba music. It sort of makes the show, right? There's something like accidental or cheesy or funny about it.
Mm-hmm.
And in an interview, Larry David said, I was watching a commercial in the 80s for a bank, and that song came on, and he's like, I was thinking one day I'll use that for something. I don't know what, but one day I'll use that for something. I got my team of people to fucking track down what song it is, which took forever, then find out who made it to see if they're still alive. If I could then for one day, not yet, but one day I want to use that. So that was like in Larry David's back pocket for decades. He's like, I like that song.
That's great. Yeah.
And it turns out it was in a bank commercial, but then when you look it up and you watch it out of context now, it's Larry David. Because Larry David not only saw it in a bank commercial, but apparently was made for an Italian kids movie in the 70s. And just Spot pulled the clip. When you hear the Larry David theme in its original form, and by the way, Luciano Michelini, he's still alive. He's a fucking ancient old guy. And he said that this song, he loves that Larry David and Curb brought it to life. He lives in Italy, an old Italian guy.
That's
He's like,
incredible.
My vision, it is frolicky and fun. And he loves the fact, it's called Frolic.
My song.
And he made it for a 1970s Italian movie, thinking, yeah, whatever, it's just on a soundtrack. 30 years later, Larry David makes it the theme of Curb. Now it's a social media phenomenon where anytime someone does something stupid or accidental,
that's awesome.
Pops on.
I love my song.
This is the original usage of the Curb theme, and out of like when you see it, not the way we vision it, it's like, I guess, did it fit this spot? Play it. This is an Italian movie from the 70s with kids.
So io un posto dove nasconderle. Non c'è mai nessuno. Andiamo. Ehi, aspettatevi!
Bunch of Italian kids like running around like a poor neighborhood.
It's incredible, right? On a side note, speaking of the importance of a score, can never downplay that.
Who's this guy?
I saw one of our listeners say that they can't get past the fact that on Dexter New Blood, they're not using
The theme.
the theme.
That disappointed me too. I thought they were going to kick into it, but that's such a classic theme. It makes me
Maybe
so
they're
mad.
waiting. Maybe they're waiting, and it's all part of it.
That was a creepy, great thing.
Dexter.
I have a quick Dexter. Speaking of TV shows, observation.
So what's the new theme
It's just like
then?
a little stinger. It's like just a flash, 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 Dexter.
First off, I got to
Well,
say,
now, I mean, that goes along with how they don't do themes anymore.
Yeah, but this would. I mean, why would you not bring back this theme? It's so fucking good.
I don't know. It's not ruining it for me, but based on this conversation,
Like even
why wouldn't you
bring
use
back
it?
this little glimmer of new storyline, but this familiarity would satisfy old school fans.
like even Curve just uses like a sting to do the intro, and they don't do a full intro. You
Yeah.
know the theme, but it's not the full theme.
Exactly.
Dexter New Blood is available now on Showtime anytime. Shout out to Biggie DeLine all the time. Appreciate you, buddy. Eric, what's up? Now, Dexter, I got to tell you, I'm digging it a lot. I think it's really good. And when I see people say bad things about it, and I'm not saying that's the narrative, but I do see negative feedback, I'm like, I get real angry because I'm like, you're so wrong. And I'm really digging the new Dexter. It started a little slow, but it was just the build. Now I'm really into it.
Once it got to the end of episode 1 and you saw shit start to develop, then you're like, okay. I thought the first half of the episode 1 was and then it started picking up. I'm excited to watch episode 2. I know you did already.
Now, yeah, I'm caught up, and there's some return characters from his past, and you're like, oh shit. And I think the storylines are kind of cool because you're seeing glimmers and glimpses of the old Dexter coming back, and he's fighting it and everything. So my question is, when it comes to, all these reboots, this isn't the first reboot, right?
Reboot?
But I feel like this is a quality reboot.
A lot of them
I feel like, no, I'm saying, I was talking to Jordan about this, and she was like bringing up Full House. And
that was
Fuller
a good.
House
That was probably one of the better
I don't
ones.
put this in the same category. Dexter to me was like,
oh yeah, no, that we're talking
revolutionary as far as cable TV.
We're talking about Fuller House was like the cheese of all cheese, but for its audience, it delivered. In fact, when you think about it, I think Fuller House probably had as almost long a run as the original Full House. Because we talked about how shows that ran for a handful of seasons, we in our minds think they were longer.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up. Well,
now there's been lots of great reboots. Cobra Kai, right?
That
But
might be the
Dexter,
best
I
one.
think, is like, it's not. I was trying to explain to Jordan the impact of Dexter. It's not Breaking Bad, but it's right up there. It was an amazing show. It had an amazing run. It was an anti-hero sort of thing that we were all sort of getting used to. Like, we're rooting for the murdering guy.
yeah, he was
right?
one of
It was
the, as
very
you said, one of
dark.
the development of the anti-hero. Him and Tony Soprano, Walter White. It was,
yeah. So I don't think it wasn't like upper echelon top 3 iconic characters of all time, but it's right up there, man. He was great. So the question is, like, with life and reboots and like even slang, right? Slang. It's been 10 years since, right? Almost 10 years. That's what they keep saying on the show. It's like 10 years. How long has it been?
2013 was the finale of Dexter. So
Okay.
8.5 years.
8.5 years. It's
Yeah.
been almost 10 years. Does it take that much time for the public to be ready for the reboot and to bring things back? And I just incorporated slang because sometimes you can't just bring things back if enough time hasn't passed.
I always thought it was
Right?
weird with a reality show. You probably even forget this, but American Idol said goodbye on Fox.
Okay.
American Idol was like,
How long were they gone?
like 2 years, and it came back on ABC. Because remember Seacrest and Simon Cowell, everyone came out for the finale. And he was like, "It's an end of American Idol. Farewell." And then remember Seacrest ended with like, "For
I
now."
don't feel like it had the
No, it didn't.
the
No one-
impact of a comeback.
That didn't.
Like to have a real impact or to actually have a just like a real moment, the way I think Dexter's having, you need that amount of time to pass.
A Cobra Kai is just perfect. That might Dexter so far, like you're saying, so good.
Well,
what other shows come to mind as far as they were a show or a movie, dipped away, came back, and you feel satisfied with the comeback? Like it's not like
So far, I'm feeling it, and like I said, I think it's because a certain amount of time has passed where we can be excited about it and experience the differences and realize that. Wow, it's not only just the show, but that much time actually has passed where we could buy into it even a little more. And he's a little older, and we've all changed since then. And where were we then? And how is it different now? And does it have to be the same? And the answer is no. But like I said, I'm incorporating other things too, because it's like winning. You couldn't just say you had to let time pass to bring. You still, I still don't think enough time has passed to say winning again. You know, like. A certain amount of time has passed for things like this to work,
Like,
and Dexter is the latest example.
They did that movie after Breaking Bad. I feel like not far after, and it didn't do well.
You know what's so weird? I never ended up watching that.
I didn't either.
So is it a matter
I feel
of
like it just didn't. We loved Breaking Bad so much.
Yeah, but Spot, is it a matter of I like the Breaking Bad thing.
The movie?
Yeah.
I never watched. Yeah, maybe
Is it a
that's-
matter of we're out of ideas, we're being lazy?
No.
Or is it a matter of like you need or maybe a little mixture of everything, but you need that time
Think of it in
to have a reboot that anyone would care about.
Think of it in a term of radio, right? There's songs that go away, and then they come back as what are known as recurrence.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Like
The time was needed.
if you play Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars right now, we're ready.
yeah,
the
there's-
song's a certain
there's
amount of-
certain-
like,
Or a cover
oh.
spot. Like you can't just cover a song
You're like,
because it was a
oh.
hot song. Like a certain amount of time has to pass for you to garner any sort of care about the reboot or cover.
Like, okay,
or
here's
update.
here's a good somewhat topical analogy. Look at Taylor Swift's album that she just re-released, right? I understand that she just finished it and it's coming out now, but like that album came out in what, 2012?
Yeah, it's a long time
2013?
ago.
A long time ago. So it's almost like everyone is listening to it for the reasons that, oh, she took back her music, whatever. But also people are listening to it because it's fresh and new now, but it's enough time has passed from when the original came out that it's
So,
like, oh,
but
you're
please
you're
feel me, Spot.
revisiting in the whole thing again.
I'm
And
feeling
you're-
you.
Please feel me,
feeling you. You're
because
trying to-
what I'm trying to say is
You're trying to find the
a lot of
timeline.
times we attribute these things to
I would say
laziness
6+
and we're
years.
out of ideas when a lot of times there's a lot of strategy involved in why things come back when they do and why it works and
'Cause
why
if you-
it doesn't. I think Dexter is going to work, and I want to read Armaj Frey's comment here. You need to let it move into the quote-unquote good old days part of the collective consciousness before you throw it out there and it's what's old is new again, and you actually care about
so
it.
much comes out that it's easy for something to just like be in the past. But look at a current series, how long it takes in between seasons. Sometimes it could be 2 to 3 years in between a season. So if
Game of Thrones was famous for that, where you'd watch the
Because so
finale.
much production
yeah,
value,
you'd watch
though.
the finale of
Right.
Game of Thrones. They'd be like, new season in 2 years. You're like, in 2 years?
if it's 2 to 3 years
Yeah.
in between a season, if you're only waiting 2 or 3 years for the reboot, it's essentially a continuation.
Look up, speaking of Curb, only because I happened to, when I was looking up the theme song shit, we totally forget. You know, there was a 7-year gap between seasons like 7 and 8. We forget that. Like Larry David from 2011 to like 2017 or 18, there was no Curb. Like we thought the show was over.
Yeah.
It's been back 3 years, but there was a
Between season 8 and season 9. Season 8 ended on September 11th, 2011. And season 9 debuted October 1st, 2017.
Yeah, we're talking like that was a long gap.
Certain amount of time has to pass for you to care. Dexter, almost 10 years. I'm digging it. I think it's really cool. Who the fuck knows where it's going to go? But Mr. Krabs in the show now. Mr. Crab from SpongeBob. I forget his name, but I'm digging it. Enjoy it.
I'll give you a couple.
The end.
Let me give you a couple.
Winning.
Let me give you a couple
Bring it
movie
back.
examples.
Winning.
A couple movie examples that I know you enjoyed, but I wonder if they stand up the bigger test, because just because we like them doesn't mean they were a success. But I remember going to the theater with you, and at the time laughing our asses off when Dumb and Dumber came out.
The reboot.
I liked it.
Not with the other cast members.
I love it.
When Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels rebooted their characters.
Yeah, it was good.
What was it? Dumb and Dumber 2? Because it wasn't
T-O-O.
T-O-O. No, because that would be the right way to say
There
it.
was T.O.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Was
T-O, yeah. They spelt it wrong. 2 would be...
No, T-W-O.
Yeah,
would be.
also. Wouldn't it be also Dumb and Dumber? Yeah, Dumb and Dumb or also? Yeah, whatever the wrong spelling would be. I liked it. Didn't love it, but it was fun to see those characters after that much time. When Rocky Balboa came out and the Creed movies, I was ready to see the Rocky Balboa character again.
It's so funny you bring him up because the director's cut's in the news. Now is my last thing I was going to discuss.
It's interesting you bring that up because I see people saying it's better than the original.
I'm here like that. I'm shocked by this. So many people have reached out to me, guys, as we wrap up our little entertainment
Because we're a big Rocky show.
portion of the day. Yo, look at this. Shout out to Mike Velasco, Look like Suavecito, Mike. What's up? Oh. So, by the way, I was rocking the Suavecito today. Look at this. Our buddy Mike sent us this. Rocky Balboa. Suavecito. How's it looking? Nice and shiny? That's a hair product.
When's the last time you put hair product in your hair?
It's been weeks. But Suavecito saves your hair.
Yeah.
Suavecito. So,
Suavecito.
so many people have hit me up about the Rocky IV director's cut that came out this past week.
I saw someone say the
re-edit.
best money they ever spent or something
Yeah.
like that. I was like,
And I'm
wow,
like-
people love it.
People are like, have you seen it? I'm like, I really wasn't that excited about it. But there's new footage, and apparently the cuts make the movie a completely different experience where now I'm intrigued, where I went from not caring that much to I'm kind of intrigued to see how much better it is, because the feedback that I'm seeing and the things I'm reading about it are like, are nothing but positive, and it makes me think of like other possibilities of this.
But
So
then
I
hold
think it's
on
pretty
now.
cool. They
I-
changed the whole thing.
I got to ask you, though.
And
Do
with brand new footage too.
Do you have the instinct spot to feel like, I don't want to watch Rocky IV yet. I almost feel like I want to watch the original
Yeah, I want to.
and then notice the differences, because if I watch the new cut.
How many times have you seen the original?
Yeah, but I wonder, but I feel like you almost want to watch the original, be like, all right, let me really.
And where did we see it? Like,
know what it's
this
like?
is what I'm
You could
confused by too.
Anywhere, yeah.
It's
Theater, online, anywhere, yeah.
You could just download it.
You could, you could
order
stream,
it?
you could stream it, or you could go to the theater.
Well, shit, I'm gonna stream the shit out of this. Maybe tonight.
Yeah, but don't you want to watch the original first? Do you feel like you're so
Fuck it,
versed?
I've seen Rocky IV so many times.
But if you watch the first one, you might be like, oh, look, they left out the scene where
No, it's gonna.
Rocky walks up to the house. Oh, look, the robot scene's totally cut out. Oh, when the son's like, that's my dad. They cut that part out. Like, don't you want to remember what they cut out?
I've seen enough.
I think you've seen it enough where it will throw you off. Like you'll visibly notice something that's changed.
but I'm
'cause
shocked
when
by
I-
the feedback spot.
when
like,
I
the
watch,
reaction toward it.
sometimes I'll watch like Freeform or whatever. They'll play Harry Potter,
Yeah.
but they'll put in either deleted scenes or extra scenes that were, or were on the DVD that they'll edit in as one solid movie, and I'll be like, why is it? Where did that scene come from? I haven't seen that
like
scene.
the octopus and Goonies.
Like yeah. So I think it's so ingrained in your head, you might not realize it, that the slightest thing you'll be like, wait, what? What is it? You'll notice it.
As a guy you thought that would care immediately, I didn't care at all, to be honest. I knew it was coming out. Brand new Rocky IV director's cut. All new fight scenes, never before seen footage, from the eye of Stallone today. I know it was a passion project of his to put it out the way he wanted to put it out, with a whole different vibe and feel.
Him and Taylor Swift.
I did not care until I started seeing all the positive.
You know what's fascinating?
Feedback.
You know what's fascinating, Covino?
Enjoy that shit.
The human instinct is to not like change. So the fact that people like this makes me think,
Yeah,
like,
that's a great point.
like everyone's instinct usually is like, oh,
That
fucking,
was-
I like it the old way.
Yeah, like, why would they
Like,
do
think
that?
about it. Anytime an app changes, anytime Facebook or Instagram or something on an iPhone or Android, any change, people are like, oh, I don't like change. No, everyone hates change at first. People like, and you know what they say automatically? It's stupid. When Facebook goes, we're going to name the new company Meta, I'm like, in my mind, that's a cool name. Most people are like, stupid. It's like, all right, genius, what would you pick? No one likes change. So the fact that everyone's raving about Rocky 4.
Yeah, I didn't think that needed a change,
I thought everyone would go old school and say, fucking why'd they fuck with a classic?
But now I want to see it.
Me too.
Or to tie it in, has enough time passed where you can appreciate it as its own new film, but still the same. Like, is it a mixture of nostalgia, but like new content that you're going to be excited to see?
Plenty of time has passed. I saw Rocky 4 in the theater in 84, 85?
You're old.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Spot.
Plenty of time. And by the way, speaking of reboots and remakes, and I saw a commercial yesterday for any old school cats out there like Jerry Orlando who love a good flick. You know, West Side Story comes out December 10th.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one, which people are going to immediately compare to the old one.
And
I don't have zero idea how this modern day Romeo Juliet Avatar Romeo Juliet story translates with young people, but I'm imagining that's who it's for.
Well, I'll tell you this.
But I saw a commercial for it yesterday, and that's like one of my mom's favorite movies. She's not going to give the new one a shot.
I have a few more, and I found the list of movies where their sequels have big gaps. You're like, I got gaps, you got gaps.
Sequels? Yeah.
And before I get to that, I wanted to say Jeff hit us up with a good one. Jeff Edstrom. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for the shirts.
Thanks again, Jeff. Love
he
you, buddy.
He said Anchorman, we forget, had a pretty significant gap between them, which is why people were very excited when Ron Burgundy brought back that character. Anchorman.
Need time.
What about this? All right, here we go. Sin City, 9 years. Toy Story 3. I know it's animated, but a 10-year gap. So that's significant. The Godfather 3, which I know Spot loves.
I love the Godfather
16
3.
years after the previous one. Rambo, 19 years. When Stallone brought back Rambo.
Now he's Grambo.
Nearly 20 years when Dumb and Dumber 2 came out. Nearly 20 years for Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. Tron was 28 years. Mad Max, 29 years. And Star Wars, The Force Awakens, 32 years after the last one.
And look at the fans of the original shit on the new section of the franchise, but still.
No, but can I just say, Spot, to wrap this up, again, where I went from not caring a diddly fuck to actually like being excited now to watch Rocky 4's recut, the director's cut.
I heard the Apollo funeral scene is sadder and longer.
Really? Oh, well, get this.
Yes, I mean, like I'm
it
hearing
does
things.
make you wonder how much other footage there is out there of other classics and great movies that we have this old school mentality of don't touch it. Why the fuck? What? Get out of here. Where they'll take Stallone's innovation here and his ideas, and we'll see more of this as a result. If it's that dope, I'd be open to more of these as a result.
Hold on.
So maybe this is a trend in the future. I'm not saying this is the first, re-director's cut that we've ever seen, but I didn't think it was necessary, and maybe there are more necessary ones that we just haven't thought about.
I think, by the way, Andrew and Steve, a couple people bringing up
there's
Jurassic World, which people were satisfied with the Jurassic Park movie after all those years, but
what was it, the Snyder cut?
Spot, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say, we're talking about the Rocky, we're talking about the Rocky 4 remake. Just within the last year, people trashed the Snyder cut.
Yep.
So the instinct is to hate change and something new. So if you're a Rocky fan, I mean, much like Covino, I'm anxious only because of the feedback. Otherwise,
maybe there's so many more that would add so much, and we are bound to get it in the future as a result of this buzz that we're experiencing.
Hey, Spot, there's a list. The top 10 best director's cuts.
Can I give one that I know off the top of my head?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Superman 2.
It's fucking number 10 on the list. What makes it different?
The Donner cut. So Richard Donner, whom you know, and I'm going to show you a picture of Richard Donner, recently died, I believe. Richard Donner directed the Lethal Weapon films. He was in the Lethal Weapon films as the captain. So you know his face. Let me show you. This is Richard
By the way,
Donner.
all the movies on this list, I know none of them, and I don't think you do either. So
No,
it's
Richard
not even
Donner.
worth doing the
This
list.
is Richard Donner.
I do
He
know
was a
Richard
dir-
Donner's face.
Yeah, you know his face. He was in the Lethal Weapons. He's directed a lot of films. But Superman 2, I'm pretty sure there was something where while they were making Superman 2, he was removed from the film and someone else came in and took it over. And so he eventually went back, took all the footage, re-edited the film, and made the Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. And Superman 2, as you know, is the one with General Zod.
Well, no, you realize in those
Which I love.
documentaries that you and I watch, Covino, I know
Right.
Spots watch a bunch of them too, the movies that made us, they'll talk about how sometimes they do a screening with a different ending and the people didn't react well.
Right. So
Like Pretty Woman had like a sad ending, like she became a hooker again and he was like, fuck you. And they're like,
most
yeah, that doesn't
recently,
work. Let's
during
make
Halloween,
it happy, right?
We talked about a Friday, A Nightmare on Elm Street, how it had like 4 different endings before they decided on one. So, yeah. All right. So
So did
look out
Clue.
for that, man. Look out for it. The director's cut.
Dude.
Hearing great things.
Rolando, how did we forget this one? Eddie Murphy coming to America. I enjoyed it. Anyone that didn't had such high expectations. I
pretty
enjoyed
good.
it. I thought it was fun.
It was good. It was good. I didn't love it.
him and
I liked it.
Arsenio.
And any other movies on that list that you want to shout out?
They
Or
were
no?
all like The
All right,
Abyss
well,
and
let
random
me,
movies that no one really cares about.
me give
This was a
some-
great movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you like, man, I can't wait to see the alternate cut of that movie. Like, they were all like Blade Runner, the final cut,
Nah,
1982.
they've got to
like,
be
you know,
like really
epic.
ingrained in our brain, legendary movies that we all know and have watched a million times for me to give a shit. Because I didn't give a shit about this. Now I do. All right, so let me just give some shout outs real quick. Eric DeLine, I appreciate you. You know, while I was sick, Wes and Bree got engaged and really didn't get to give, I didn't, a proper congratulations, guys. Our buddy Wes in Idaho, Wes in Vegas, and Bree. Thanks for all the stuff you sent us. And I
That
enjoyed
bacon is so good. Have you had the bacon yet?
No, but I had, some of the pastries this weekend.
Damn
I
good.
Thought of you guys and just want to congratulate you on your engagement and
Which
everything.
pastry did you have? I had like 3 of them so far.
Raspberry one.
So it's the best one.
Yeah, so
the
thank-
best one.
Shout out to
Raspberry
Wes,
was good.
Narzan, and Steve in Utah. I miss you guys. And my buddy Paul Murillo. Paul, what's up? Paul Murillo, Profiling Paul.
Yo.
One of the nicest guys. Reached out to me this weekend and was like, he wanted to buy me breakfast. I'm like,
He's
like,
always reaching
Melody's
out.
not around. We're just chilling. I appreciate it. I'll take the rain check, but he wanted to do something nice, just to do something nice. We got the nicest people that listen to this show, and I salute all you guys, and I appreciate you and all your feedback and all your support in the past few weeks. And actually, in the past, how many months have we been doing Patreon now? So thank you
March,
guys so
April,
much.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
Couldn't do shit without you guys.
So 8.5 months.
8.5 months
Yo,
of
if
this.
you would have knocked someone up the minute we started Patreon, you'd be having that baby right now.
having that baby right now.
If you had a Patreon, if you had like a post SXM Patreon fuck,
yeah,
and you drop some goo, that baby would be like any day now. Like,
want to thank all you guys for your feedback and your support and just for being part of our world and our show. It means a lot, especially this past month. So it's nice to be back and back to normal.
Kim wants to know, can you taste now?
It's not 100%, but it's close. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Is your smell still messed up? Because I can't. Certain things I can't smell. It's coming back.
Yeah, it's again,
Pungent
slowly but
aromas.
surely. And we'll start doing more behind the velvet ropes, back to normal.
Yeah, tier 2, we're gonna deliver. And
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I went to the beach on Saturday. I couldn't smell the ocean. It was so depressing.
Spot, you got to pull up this picture. It's so funny.
oh, how
Again,
do we not talk about this?
hope
Your
you had
nut
a-
picture.
Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. Hope you enjoyed
Oh, my
your
nuts.
time with friends and
Wearing a bathing
family.
suit.
Hope you're bonding and having primal helmet bashing contests. Spot went on a solo trip to the beach, which I admire.
I've done it before.
And I know it's nothing crazy, but I think it's just nice to do those things because it's so easy to be lazy, right? So Spot trying to live his best life. Kristen's working. He goes to the beach solo, and man, he really
you know what I said to myself?
he gets into it,
You know what I said to myself? It's November 13th.
and it's like 80 something degrees.
And it was
out, right?
80 something degrees
Yeah.
in Malibu by the beach.
Yeah. Bro,
Usually
you're
the
right.
beach is about 20 degrees
You're
colder.
right, but Spot, since
It
we're
was
talking about
80
throwing it up,
degrees in
I go
Malibu.
with you. If I wasn't like,
You were been hooked up to oxygen all week.
Yeah, but not only
I know.
that,
I'm
up
saying
until,
in the-
up until
I'm saying
now,
in
in
the
the past,
future.
you haven't, though. So this is
that's
a good.
not true. I would totally go. Like, why? Since
Sorry, I
when
didn't ask.
do I not want to like hang out?
But
You know?
I
Like, everybody just wants to do their own solo thing. I think that's part of the
threw
problem.
the top down, drove on out.
I made
to
the
the
I made
beach.
the I made the mistake Covino spoke of though. I was like, man, it's November, and it gets chilly in the morning. I went to softball with like a long sleeve, you know, like those baseball tees,
Yeah.
like what you're wearing now, like that type of shirt.
Yeah.
And I was fucking sweating. It's like summer now.
Well, the weather's crazy. It was
It
60 degrees this morning. It's going to be 80 something in the afternoon. So you have to adjust.
Yeah, but forget my softball. Forget your refrigerator.
But Spot,
For-
your
when it
beach
comes-
day.
Yeah, when it comes to the weekend.
Your beach day.
Oh, dude.
And by the way, I think it's also awesome to roll solo and do your own thing. No one needs company all the time. I think that's part of the charm of what Spot did. But he was like, posting pictures, feeling himself. And there was a picture you posted.
I mean,
that
he's feeling,
swear to God.
he's
like,
feeling himself so hard. People hit me up with this, like, and they're like, "Yo, Spot."
I'm
Can
like,
I
are
ask you
you
a question?
wearing a Speedo?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That was my first
Who
thought.
is hitting you up directly, asking you about photos about me?
Vic and Toronto.
All of our
bro.
listeners.
I want to know.
Vic and
Tell me
Tom.
names.
Yeah,
I want
can't
names.
give-
I want names because I want to
Everyone.
shit on their faces right now.
Okay.
Like it's so rude. They're like, oh, do you see what Spot's doing? Fuck you.
You're
Yeah.
trying to tell me?
Fuck you,
that's
Rocket Dog.
Rich
Fuck
creates a
you,
very
Drew Mac.
gossipy circle.
Fuck
No,
you, you
because
little
people-
people that have
gossip.
to talk behind my
because
back
people do
and
that
be little
about-
bitches
He's
about
right.
my photo. I don't text you about
Please.
Rich's
I'm Team
photos
Spot
or
on this.
Covino's photos.
Yeah.
Stop being little bitches. Come to me if you have something to say.
He's right.
Yo, I don't ask for it. You probably get people
Oh, can you see
making
what
jokes.
Spot did?
You're trying to tell me. You're trying to tell me no one ever texts you, Covino, with a joke about me, like, "Yo, Richard, like, you get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
Get the fuck
but
outta here. If
That,
you're-
that culture is very much
if you're trying to tell me.
You're a
that
very
you don't
gossipy
get, if you don't-
guy.
If
So
you don't get,
nasty.
if you don't get, it's not nasty. If you
It's
don't
nasty.
get, if you're telling me you don't get messages
Sorry, I
from
gossip
friends
about
and
you behind
fans,
your back.
we all do,
of
but
course
more,
you do,
more you, bro.
moron.
Let me do it right now.
But if you don't think people, yeah, you guys are so fucking.
You don't think you're
Wrong,
more of a
like-
gossipy sort of ringleader? Come on.
Not at all. I'm busy doing
Yo,
other things.
my
I get people hit
God.
me up like I didn't even see the Spot picture until multiple people like, "Yo, your
This
boy's
is
showing
my-
bottom nut."
The first time I brought it up was to
So show me.
Spot.
I want to see one text message of who it is.
Nope.
I said to
Tell
Spot.
me one name. I need a name.
All right. One name? Who am I
One
throwing
name.
under the bus?
Throw one
Rocket
person.
Dog.
Oh yeah, Rocket Dog.
Easily. Definitely. It was definitely Rocket Dog. I know it. Him
Matt
and-
from
Him
Minnesota.
and his little gossip circle.
Well,
He has his own little gossip circle.
Spot. I gotta say, this is all coming from a good place. Commend you, living your life.
living my life, bro.
You're not letting anyone hold you back.
You
You're
know
at the
what?
beach.
I'm Adele.
Enjoying yourself.
Did you see what Adele said?
Easy on me.
Easy on me. She said about her weight loss. She's like, I don't need anyone else to validate me. I validate me.
Fuck yeah.
I don't need anyone else to validate. I don't need Rocket Dog to sit there with his fucking hand in a honey pot and validate me.
I went to
validate
Spot.
me.
I said Spot. Who'd you go to the beach with? Just out of curiosity, because I'm like, I would love to go to the beach with you.
I
But
wish you
he's
would
doing
reach
his own
out to
thing.
me. Now I know
And then-
next time I go on a solo mission.
I asked Spot
'Cause my wife
I asked
works on
Spot.
Saturdays.
I didn't gossip like Rich. I asked Spot. I said, "Are you wearing a fucking Speedo, bro?"
You've seen these sweat.
I've never.
I
Yo,
have
you gotta
two
see this
pairs
picture.
of sweat trunks.
You gotta see this.
It's just it was an upward angle. You
Let's
saw my
hear
nuts.
You're really like rocking some short shorts.
For some reason, the gram is not working.
Oh,
So I have to go to
really? But
Facebook.
it was
I have to go to Facebook.
It was
By the
a
way-
sight.
By the way, just for the record, I'm not starting these conversations. Just people also in my real life are like, "Yo, your boy's showing
Because-
balls." Like that's
Clearly,
just,
you've set a precedence where you like to gossip about my other people's
you're
photos.
That guy.
or I'm just,
That's why,
or I
like,
just communicate with a lot of people.
there's a and
And
there's a
Spot put this
Spanish
picture on social media.
Everybody communicates. You don't communicate more than the average fellow.
I think it's just. I'm going to zoom in on my junk. I think it's just a bad angle. Because
Look at that
those are my hairy man
bulge.
thighs. But like the like, I would argue that like this is. I'm going to show you in the room. That's how high my shorts were.
Really?
It just
It
looks
looks
like.
I'm like, look at Spot. Spot went from like
I was staring at the sun. It was a beautiful sunset. The sun actually set on the beach.
it looks. Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. But I'm like, he's
If
wearing,
Spot was a
he's
woman,
wearing a
if
Speedo.
Spot was a woman, he'd be showing lip.
Yeah, yeah. He's showing Speedo. I thought you were rocking a Speedo, which, hey, to each his own with provolone.
Do I own
To
a
each his
Speedo?
own with provolone.
It's the same pair of trunks. You can compare the pattern of when we went to the beach 2 months ago.
But
Or a month
hey, what's
ago.
the takeaway? When you're feeling yourself and you've earned it the way Spot has, so fucking be it. I thought it was funny because, he's not rocking a Speedo, but in my mind he was. And I'm like, oh, well, that's how Spot rolls when no one's around, I guess. And that was just my own little fantasy. Because I'd
You're
never
lucky I
seen
put a
him.
shirt on.
Yeah, so there it is. I hope you had a weekend like Spot.
Speedo.
And
Speedo boy.
one last shout out to Handsome Gabe too. Like what a great guy. I was just thinking about him when I was thinking about Spot and gossip and everything else.
You saw man crotch and you thought of handsome Gabe.
I saw Man Crotch. I thought of Handsome Gabe. Just wanted to say I love
So
you, buddy.
handsome.
And shout out to you and your family. And, thanks for all your support, the Covathon and everything. You're just awesome, and I appreciate it. We have the best friends through the show, and that's it. That's it. I'm done, and I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Oh, we just got a text message. Do you want to fill in on Fox during Thanksgiving week for some shows?
Oh.
Extra Covino Rich Thanksgiving week?
It just depends what time.
Like on Thanksgiving?
Oh, the day after Thanksgiving. We could do a Friday spectacular. But yeah, next week we're going to be on, but we're going to be in different places.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
It should be a fun show.
It's going to be a big test for me running the show remotely. So we'll see.
Spot's like, yeah, I'm going to go back east. And he's like, I think I figured out how he could run the show and do it from somewhere else, which is wild. So,
I mean, you're not going to be here. He'll be here. But we're going to be on Zoom anyway. So I might as well just use it through Zoom and run it remotely. So we'll see. We'll see how it works.
Look at that. Spot, you're inspirational.
Hey, I don't need, like I said, I don't need anyone else to validate me. I validate me.
No, and no one's
Take
making fun of you. You look good. It just, if you don't think the guy,
Clearly.
if you don't think, so like all of a sudden it's like,
clearly,
it's like if
you were in your little buds had a little laugh about my little bulge.
You mean guys that are also friends with you?
Well, then,
and by the way,
none of them reached out to me saying,
please,
"Hey, bud,
like, you're
nice
trying
bulge."
to, you guys are fucking lying through your fucking little.
You're
lying through your tight little butthole to say that, like, if I did something if I wore something,
this photo,
get out of here.
If Covino posted this photo, you know what I would text him? Bulges, bro. That's what I would say directly to his face.
Yeah,
I would say to him,
and
bulge.
And I'm telling you to your face now, but to say that if I wore some fucking goofy shirt or someone saw something, you're trying to tell me when someone sees something about a big head or this or anything that you guys make fun of me for a joke about, you're trying to tell me people never take a picture and send you something like, oh, Rich, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're lying to say that our mutual friends don't bust balls. And that's part of guy culture.
Busting balls to your face, okay. Busting balls
see the difference
behind your back
to
other people.
You don't see the difference between malicious
gossipy
and
not?
I don't
apologize.
think you're seeing the difference.
All right, you're telling me
everybody does it,
Drew
but
Mac
you create more of that atmosphere around you than most men.
If you're telling me a guy like Drew Mac, if you're telling me a guy like Drew Mac won't text you like, yo, I thought of Rich when I saw that, and just makes fun of me to you because we're all friends. You're trying to tell me that doesn't happen.
It's fair, but I think you create more of that circle. And it's fun.
Get out of here.
It's not a criticism.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm backing Spot up here. This is not my fight. When I saw Spot's Speedo, I asked him about it.
Yeah, I don't it's let me see.
It's funny. Well, anyway, that's the
that's the update.
It's just a bad angle.
Actually, it could be. I mean
it's
it depends
who
you ask, right?
It's a great angle, let's be honest.
Depends who you ask.
Yo, Laura, when you post a picture of your junk in what looks like a Speedo, even though it's not, if you don't think your buddies are going to be like, yo, Spot showing Manthigh and bulge.
The way, there's Emmy. It's this same suit. I was just sitting down.
Really?
Yeah, I was just sitting down, and it was the angle.
Hold on. Now look at that. Now look what Spot was wearing. And like for me, it was just a matter of, people roll different when they're, by themselves. I didn't know Spot was a Speedo guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, how is that even? It's not even remotely the same.
Same pattern.
All right,
it's just the angle.
That's funny.
It's the angle of my junk.
It was just an observation, man.
Take that.
But it was a beautiful pic. You look handsome. Good for you.
It's definitely Rocket Dog.
It's definitely.
It's
definitely Vic in Toronto.
Any final words?
It's definitely Jerry Orlando.
Yeah, you know what? Like Alejandro said, the pic has a comment section. And you know what? Plenty of people left bulges mocking comments. You know who didn't leave a bulge mocking comment?
Who?
Rocket Dog.
By the way, it wasn't him for the record. He's getting a lot of
it can be.
Getting a lot of hate.
Getting a lot of hate for no reason.
Thank you.
It was a Rocket Dog.
Thank you, Terry Hickey. Thank you, Steven Texas. Alejandro Michael. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
It was your brother. He's like, what's with my brother's bulge?
You know who I respect? Gio in Vegas, because you know what he said? Look at that old ninja boot. Right to my face.
Gio, what's up, buddy?
Let's see. Free the man thigh.
Yeah, I got hairy man thighs, bro.
Your hairy man thighs are on fleek, according to Kinky Blender.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way.
Get up in those man thighs.
Is it?
It really does make you. It does
10
make
years
you,
gone by where we could use on fleek again?
Yeah. Not enough time. No, now you're just like John Bastow.
Now you sound like you're using an old term.
My dude bros.
On fleek, my dude bros.
I wonder if if he would call us dude bros.
By the way, have we adjusted to the idea of it's no longer funny looking and we just accept that like, swim trunks and stuff like that are shorter now. Like you look dated and fucking lame if you got like
Adam Sandler playing basketball.
Yeah, you look like Sandler playing basketball.
Yeah, it's Sandman.
Hey, skibidi-doo. If you're at the beach or pool or somewhere and your swim trunks are at your knee or lower, you look like you're a 50-year-old guy.
Compromise.
If you're not, you got to rock mid-thigh.
Yeah, girls are showing like full-on cheek now.
Women are showing cheek and guys are rocking shorter swim trunks. If you're rocking swim trunks that go to your knee or below, honestly, you're right. You might as well put a banner out that's like, I am the old outdated guy.
And
unless you want to be, maybe
looking through our text messages too, 412 to letter C in our show. Jeff in Pennsylvania, not to backtrack, but we're talking about the director's cuts.
Yeah.
He said anything Tarantino I'd be into. It's like actually a really great thought.
Ooh. Or M. Night Shyamalan, if he had like alternate endings, that might be fun to watch.
Thanks,
like where the twist is different.
Oh, there's a director's cut version of Dances with Wolves by Kevin Costner, which is like 4 hours long.
To be honest with you, I never saw that movie.
I've never seen that or Waterworld.
Waterworld's good too.
Dances with Wolves, I believe my parents had like taped off of TV, and I remember even having the Dances with Wolves VHS, and I'm like, I always said it sounded funny. I pulled the Covino. You know how Covino won't watch Handmaid's Tale because it's women in funny smocks and they look like pilgrims? And he's like, fuck that. When I was a kid, I was like, Dancing with Wolves? No thanks.
What did you think it was? Billy Elliot?
I don't know. I thought it was like Kevin Costner I didn't love enough to be like, I thought it felt like he's in the forest with wolves.
He's
dancing.
He's a Civil War.
See, I'm done.
No, he's a Civil War
as a little
lieutenant.
Kid, as a little kid, you told me
John
Civil
Dunbar,
War. Okay.
Who wants to see the frontier after the war, and he's reposted out west on the frontier. And when he's there, he interacts with a Native American tribe, and starts becoming friends with them because no one's at the post. So he eventually starts living with the Native Americans, and he falls in love with an American, with a white woman who was raised by the Native Americans.
I'm sure this is a beautiful movie, but
it's a beautiful story.
Your description made me confirm my 13-year-old decision to never watch the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Kevin Costner.
I get it. I'm sure
it's an epic, and I don't mean like grand. I mean like an epic. Like he tells these long, beautiful stories visually and story-wise that you have to respect.
I'd rather fucking watch TikTok dances than Dances with Wolves.
I'm just saying, you're missing out.
I'd rather watch you. I'd rather watch a video of you breaking the world record for most people doing the Macarena.
Rich would rather
Dances with Spot.
Honestly, the bottom of his tongue with his pinky.
Yeah.
To get the sensation of a penis in his mouth.
I'd rather rub my tongue and get the sensation of a throbbing wiener.
Now, Rich, while we wrap this up, Tom B, Kenny, Cliff Mysaka, Franz. What's up, Franz, buddy?
No, Cliff Mysaka.
No, Mysaka. Speaking of Franz, we have new merch coming, hopefully this week, available by Christmas time. Shop.covinoandrich.com. Shop.covinoandrich.com. Please look out for that. Any update, Spot? Hopefully soon.
No. You'll know.
Okay,
we'll know. We're ready.
We'll keep you posted. We'll post it at Covino
You'll
and Rich.
know.
I just want to know, Rich, heading into Monday night.
49ers going to fucking dominate tonight.
49ers, I mean.
Want me to tell you why?
Can they win? Absolutely, based on the rest of the season. But any OBJ sort of.
It's going to be a
I saw
non-factor.
lots of people, like even I think our buddy Rashawn on social media joking about like Baker Mayfield would have played better with OBJ or something like that.
Yeah,
like, OBJ would have had zero impact on that Patriots game yesterday.
That was his joke.
Yeah.
But the whole joke is like they do better without OBJ. And look, he's gone a day and they lose 45-7.
What sort of impact will OBJ have
0.0
tonight when they're down a receiver anyway?
Well, the 49ers,
any predictions? Any thoughts?
Well, the 49ers secondary is doo-doo diapers. So if OBJ has a big play, I wouldn't be surprised. But
I mean, he could also it would be in their best interest to force a big play just to get him on track and
I don't know.
Get that confidence
I don't think you need to. When you're 7-1 or 8-2 or whatever they are, what are they? 7-2.
It can only help to get one of your weapons.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to force
right
anything. They're fine without. They are an elite team without OBJ, and I think the reality is that the Los Angeles Rams, more than I've ever seen in the NFL, couldn't be. I've never seen a team more in for now. Like they're in it. They're like, yo, let's get Von Miller. Let's get OBJ. Let's win now. Let's spend money. Let's manipulate the salary cap.
Prime now.
Prime now. Prime now. So
prime now.
If you're a
I
Rams
want it
fan,
now.
I think the 49ers are going to dominate tonight, and I'll tell you why. Because everything else in the NFL makes no sense. So wouldn't it only make sense for the 49ers to actually have a great home game tonight and beat the Rams, who are looking stacked? The Rams are only 3.5-point favorites, which shows you Vegas is so confused by what is going on in the National Football League.
OBJ will kill the Rams from the inside out. That's from Wes.
It's possible.
Wow.
It is possible. I have 2 other quick stories before we run.
Rolando says, hopefully he has a better impact than
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson had last night with his Raiders. Yeah.
Yo, Spot, if you want to play, while I give the last 2 stories, if you want to call up that play, because I showed Spot last night, and Spot and I were both equally befuddled. Deshaun Jackson, just look it up on Twitter.
I don't understand it. I'm trying.
Right. While you do that, I want to talk about there's a band called Brass Against where the lead singer, this woman, did she pee on an audience member's face?
Yeah. Sure did.
So rock. That's so rock.
That was the vile story in the news. Yeah, rock star pees on the audience member's face, and they apologize. Like, oopsies. They were in the moment. And
Brass Against apologized after singer Sofia Yoristas pees on a fan's face during the festival set.
Spot would let Sophia Beverly pee on him.
Spin Magazine says
you would.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. But that's entertainment, next level entertainment. Everybody
do stuff with her afterwards if she peed on me.
Golden showers at your favorite concert performance,
or is she just peeing on me? Because if she's just peeing on me, it does nothing for me.
If she peed on you in some type of foreplay, you would absolutely do it.
So foreplay meaning something else is happening.
She peed
afterwards?
on you, and then it was on.
Oh, then yeah, I'd let her.
You fucking let her pee. You would. I know you would.
Yeah.
Rich is in 49er denial. Of course,
For a few
the
moments
49ers.
with those-
The 49ers stink. I'm just saying that with the way the National Football League's going, if I had a bet, I wouldn't even bet on it because there's a part of me that's like, yo, the Rams are going to kill them. But then I'm like, well, they have moments where the 49ers could move the ball. I don't know. It's going to be fucking whack. Would you watch a video of Spot getting peed on by Sophia Beverly, everybody?
On OnlyFans?
Would you watch that?
Honestly, you know how many people would pay for that? I wonder if I could get a cut of that. Maybe we can go into cahoots. She doesn't do anything fun on her OnlyFans. It's no fun.
Cahoots. Don't take away that name, Spot. That's Sarah's production company. Cahoots.
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 Do you want to?
One last quick story, and then we'll end with the Deshaun Jackson fucking misplay. The Rams better win now. You're right. They don't have draft picks for like years now. There's a story about a woman. Now, Covino, I know the whole joke is that
this is
when you had a child, when you became a dad to beautiful young Melody
12 years ago.
The whole joke was your ex made it seem like she drove herself to the hospital.
I mean, she drove, but not by herself.
Yeah, you were with her, but the way she had told the story somewhere was like as if you were non-present. You're like, I was there, I just didn't drive.
Yeah.
Every woman has a birthing plan, whether it's elaborate, because it was a C-section Spot. It wasn't like he rushed her to the hospital. They had an appointment.
Yeah, it was an appointment.
It was like going to the fucking deli. Like, you want to drive? I'll drive. It wasn't like an urgency. Like, get there, we must go. It was like, hey, we have a 9 o'clock appointment.
Yeah,
you could drive.
We were going to be there for like a week, so
I was like, fuck it.
I imagine it's very uncomfortable for a pregnant woman to drive.
I mean, Spot, no more uncomfortable than a pregnant woman to drive to the supermarket if she does. It just. When there's a C-section appointment,
I eat too much and I have trouble
But I'm
driving.
saying a C-section appointment, there's the urgency level is 0.0.
Right.
It's like going to the dentist with a much bigger outcome.
Should see my wisdom teeth.
Every woman, some have the elaborate eye-rolling birth plans. Like, here's what we're gonna do, and they like way over-prepare, which I get is probably part of the nesting process. Other women are more casual. Like, hey, when the baby comes, we'll adapt and we'll do it. There's a woman that gave birth in her driveway. She couldn't even make it to her car. She birthed her kid on the front lawn. And the good part about it, for memories, her Ring doorbell videoed the whole thing.
Oh,
so the woman has her
fantastic.
birth, has the baby's birth on her Ring doorbell. So it's like a wild story where like, woman couldn't even make it to the hospital. She's like, baby comes out. You know,
Can I
obviously
watch the video?
medical
It's great advertisement.
like folks obviously helped her and the baby's good and all.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is her story could be verified because she's like, and the whole thing's on my Ring doorbell. I thought that was a wild story.
Amazing. It's amazing. Ring captured it.
She could forever show.
How do I watch this video?
She could forever show her kid like, hey, here's when you were born on the front lawn.
That's a totally. Most of my updates have to do with there's a fox or a wolf in the neighborhood, or someone stole a package. Not women gives birth in her driveway. So
Yeah, she's in the look. She's
were those gunshots? Those are my updates and alerts
gunshot.
from Ring. And that's no exaggeration, by the way. Those are the constant Ring updates that I get.
Ring doorbell. By the way, I'm having. I have like other.
crazy.
I have like other lights and cameras now, but we just bought. I'm trying to decide if I want to return and get other ones, but I think I'm getting the Ring floodlights, doorbell, and all that, and they'll all sync up if that makes sense. Like on the side of the house, backyard. Like,
it's all in one app.
Great
It's
products.
yeah, like I think I am. And again, that's no commercial. If there's other companies that are a little cheaper, but I feel like Ring's brand. I'll be honest, it's sort of.
Blink is a decent brand. Blink's by Amazon. I've used a few of their cameras. They're okay,
But there's a couple little
Ring
mini cameras.
is just so seamless.
I think there's a floodlight I'm going to get by the yard and the pool. So if there's any noise or anything in the backyard, floodlight. But they're all Ring products now. So I think that's a good step as far as upgrading your home to smart technology.
One on each corner of the house.
Yeah, I'm doing one on the side, one in the backyard, and then 2 on each side of the front.
You have a price limit?
They're like $150 each, $100, or some of them are like $79. I think the little cameras that go to your phone are $79 or $80, and the floodlight one I think is like $100. But yeah, it's not crazy expensive when you talk about like your own home security. Where back in the day you'd have to, some people would pay monthly rates for.
And it's all remote. You can control them remote, watch them remote. You can turn on the lights, turn on sirens.
Nest by Google is good too. Is Nest the one spot you said or no?
No, I said Blink, but
Blink?
Nest is good. Nest is just as good.
And Andrew Hart says they're all amazingly seamless. So
Yeah.
hey, that's an
Arlo,
endorsement.
I saw Jonesy. I saw Arlo's another brand. But if you go to, I went to Best Buy recently. They have no inventory, but they have stuff on display. You go to Best Buy and you're like, hey, can I get this? They're like, yeah, we don't have it. Best Buy is now just a display place.
Yeah,
but they have all the different types of home security. It's
Did
great.
you buy them yet?
Yeah, but I can return them. Home Depot's up the block. I have them.
I was gonna say maybe like keep an eye on because we're approaching
Black Friday.
holidays,
I
Black
know.
Friday sales. They might price match, but just keep an eye on that because I feel like a lot of
Yeah. No, I may return
those
them
go on
and
sale.
see if there's some type of package deal where you could buy a whole, like multiple ones. But there you go. That's it. That's my last story of the day.
And we got to see this clip.
Oh yeah, this is the clip that happened last night. Sunday Night Football. It's Deshaun Jackson's first catch as a Raider. Spot, if you can make this full screen just to show people, because I'm so curious. I even said to Spot, I said to our producer Bobo, I said to Covino, last night on Fox, all I kept thinking was, what is he trying to do here? Because when you ask yourself, what is he trying to do? I really still can't understand. Is he trying to cut back?
Sorry.
Look at Deshaun Jackson, his first catch as a Las Vegas Raider.
Right,
Take a look.
He makes his first from the 43. Far stepping up, keeps his eyes downfield.
Catches the ball, stops, turns back, and fumbles.
It was very confusing to see.
Like he broke a tackle, and instead of darting to the end zone, he stopped and went backwards.
Not sure what happened there.
Did he just get a weird feel of like he? I don't understand what the fuck he was doing. Yeah, play it one more time, Spot.
Carr drops back.
Shakes the defender. Instead of running for the end zone, he turns around and coughs up the ball.
He had a clear shot.
He could have at least made it into the five-yard line, maybe, if that guy caught him, maybe.
Yeah, did he just get
freaked?
He got spun around maybe and didn't know which direction he was heading?
Maybe he lost his bearings. And,
Yeah.
Where am I? No explanation there at all.
I think it looks like he did he got spun around. And but who was he tossing the ball to? I think he just honestly, it's like
it looks like there was a lateral, but it wasn't. Like I think he just Covino, I think might be right. I think he lost his bearings. You know how it's a terribly sad analogy, but you know when sometimes private planes crash, it's because the pilot's flying at night and they're
I don't know how you're comparing that to that.
No, but you don't know where you are. He might have thought that way's the end zone, this way's the end zone. For that split second, at that speed of football, for a minute, he might have been like, which way's the end zone? Because otherwise, how the fuck can you get that turned around?
It's like, those videos where something goes wrong, but then a series of things just happens in a matter of 2 seconds. Like someone drops an egg on the floor and they go to pick up the egg, but then like the whole pan just like falls on top of them. Then they slip, and then like all the cups are falling off, and then like it just looks like something threw him off, and then he just freaked.
He had a brain shart
and was trying to recover mentally.
The ball was punched out, but Andrew, the ball's punched out after he shook the first defender and could have probably just stumbled down to like the 5-yard line, but instead he stopped in his tracks and like turned. Watch one last time.
Like it's so weird. So
catches
he gets
the ball.
Kept running. He could have made it to the end zone.
At that point, why not keep running? Why did he backtrack?
Maybe he felt footsteps from the wrong side of.
But he turned around.
Side,
So he
catches the ball.
He catches.
Maybe he misread where the defender was.
Yeah, okay, so he
catches the
or
ball.
was going to be
ball right there. He's at the 20.
All he has
to
to
the
do
end zone.
is keep going, but then he stops. Does a turn to deflect from 27.
Maybe he's just trying to do too much here.
And then he sees this other guy.
Maybe he's trying to cut to the end zone that way. I don't know. That's a fucking run to the end zone. Which one? That one.
Oh, the ball got knocked out of his hand.
Yeah, and then he got punched out when he turned around. All right,
thank you guys.
Just
enjoy
fall.
Your
just fall.
That was
you had a 50-yard game. Just fall on the red zone.
He could have just kept going.
And by the way, Spud, that was the turning point of the game because right now, if the Vegas Raiders score there, it's 24-21. It's a game, and then Kansas City scores there. It ends up being a 2-touchdown game, and it gets out of control.
What if he's on the take?
Five tutties.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns. Back.
They do live in Vegas. What if someone got to him and he's on the take?
He was trying to cut to the end zone. Yeah, it looks like it, but yeah, just.
Oh, he's on the take. That's the story.
Yeah, on the take.
He went to a casino and he was gambling really a lot, and he lost a shit ton of money.
Hey, you know what?
And he didn't have the money, so as collateral, some big Italian guy came out and said,
"Hey,
you know what you're gonna do?
I got the Chiefs minus 2.5, so you better
gabagool.
I got some gabagool."
All
right, hey,
he says soprasar.
Superstar. Let's call it a day. And you know what we'll do? I think for fun tonight, if you guys are down with it, I know you'll be home, but I think maybe I'll do a little behind the velvet rope.
Getting excited for the 49ers?
Me watching the first quarter of the 49ers either fail or win. So a little watch along party.
That'd be cool.
A Monday night football watch along. It will be chaos in my house, so be prepared because that's 5 o'clock. So that's like pre-dinner time with the 2 fucking maniac children. So we'll have some fun tonight. We'll do a little Monday night football first quarter or first half watch along. All right, behind the velvet rope, tier 2, Covino and Rich. So I appreciate you guys being part of that.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Monday night football. Be back tomorrow here on Covino and Rich Patreon. Tell your friends about it, and we'll hang out with Rich later tonight.
All right, cool. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.